Good evening. It is Thursday. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again, the Arsenal podcast. We are live and it is a big game. The Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg at the Emirates, of course. Arsenal versus Liverpool. This is the live watch-along coming up the other side of this. So it is a live watch-along, Arsenal versus Liverpool, of course, from the Carabao Cup semi-final. Next stop is Wembley for one of these two teams. Awaiting the winners, of course, is Chelsea. They beat Tottenham in the other semi-final. Of course, this was the delayed game, wasn't it, from 2 weeks ago when Liverpool had all those fake positive tests in COVID. You have to say it's probably actually done us a favour now. We've got the second leg at home following that brilliant performance last week at Anfield. A 0-0 draw put us in a very good position. I wouldn't say we're favourites necessarily, but we're certainly in a great position. And being at home in the second leg with our fans behind us, I think is a massive advantage as well. Now, we have got the team news in. You've probably seen it, but I will just go through it all for you. So these are the team lineups for tonight. And so for Arsenal, it's Ramsdale in goal. Back four, Tomiyasu's back, thankfully, at right back. White and Gabriel and Tierney, the rest of the back four, as you would have expected. In midfield, Lokonga starts again. Martin Odegaard's back. That's great as well, following his COVID situation. Saka and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's back in the starting lineup. Saka as well. And then Martinelli and Lacazette. So there's just three changes from last week, isn't there? Tomiyasu's back, Odegaard's back, and Smith Rowe's back in the starting lineup. So they are the three changes for us. As you can see from our bench, we've got a lot of young players on the bench, not much experience at all. But Thomas Partey has made it. He played for Ghana on Tuesday night in the African Cup of Nations. He's flown back to England and he's on the bench and in the squad for tonight, which is good news. Obviously, he's hoping to maybe have some influence on the game. Looking at Liverpool side, then they've changed their goalkeeper. It's Calais in goal instead of Alisson. He's on the bench, so there's a change there for Liverpool. Their back four is the same as last week: Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, and Robertson. In midfield, Fabinho, Henderson, and Jones comes in. Curtis Jones, he played well, didn't he, last week? I thought when he came on, so he gets a place in the starting lineup. In the front three, Gordon's in. Actually, that's another change for them. He replaces Minamino. Of course, missed that real big chance for Liverpool. And then Jota and Firmino. Liverpool have got a few younger players on the bench, although they've probably got slightly more experience on their bench than we have. You know, big people like James Milner, Joe Gomez, Minamino, Tsimikas as well. So Liverpool have probably got a slightly stronger bench actually than we have tonight, which is probably not really what we want to see. But anyway, hopefully it's not going to matter too much. Hopefully we will still be able to get the result with the first 11 that we've got out there tonight. It's a strong side. You know, it's pretty much our Premier League starting 11, isn't it, when you think about it? It's pretty much our strongest team. You would say Thomas Partey is probably the only one missing out of that. Granit Xhaka would normally play. Instead, we've got Odegaard and Lokonga in midfield. I think Odegaard's going to play that slightly deeper role with Smith Rowe possibly pushing into the number 10 position. I would imagine that's how we're going to line up in this game, which is fine. I think Smith Rowe's better in that number 10 position anyway, and I think he can offer a real threat as well. And of course, we know the goal threat that he's got. He's our top scorer this season, Emile Smith Rowe. He's not even started a game, has he, for quite a long time. So that's it's a good Arsenal team, really strong starting 11. But I say their backups on the bench aren't very experienced generally. So although we have got Eddie Nketiah, of course, on the bench, who's their top scorer in this competition this season with 6 goals. Of course, that hat-trick against Sunderland, in the last round helped us get to this part of the competition. But he's on the bench tonight. So maybe if we need a goal later on, perhaps he might be able to come on and get one for us. I say Nuno Tavares is on the bench, Thomas Partey as well, Charlie Patino, but not a lot of experience elsewhere. Well, with Charlie Patino, not got a lot of experience either, has he? So we've also got young goalkeeper Hine as well as our substitute backup goalkeeper tonight. Bernd Leno is unavailable. So, we've had a few issues. Obviously, there's a lot made of our game getting called off at the weekend against Tottenham, but everybody seems to be, or most players seem to be fit and available tonight, which is good. And let's hope that continues for the weekend against Burnley as well. Hopefully Burnley can play the game, because we haven't played a Premier League game since New Year's Day. In fact, New Year's Day was the last time an Arsenal team, either the men or the women, scored a goal. That was that Bukayo Saka goal against Man City. Since then, the women have played twice, the men have played twice, and neither team have scored. So, it's we need a goal, don't we? We need an Arsenal goal tonight. Of course, an Arsenal goal may well be enough to send us back to Wembley. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Another cup final appearance for Mikel Arteta. He's still in the reasonably early stages of his managerial career, I suppose. I guess in terms of Premier League managers, he's probably towards the end of his stay at Motor. We look at how most clubs get rid of managers, but another cup final for Mikel Arteta would be good. It would be Chelsea again as well, waiting for us at Wembley, as they so often are. But we've got a great record, haven't we, against Chelsea in cup finals? Certainly in recent years. We beat them in the FA Cup final in 2002. We beat them in 2017. We beat them in 2020, of course, as well. Just that one Europa League final defeat that we suffered against Chelsea, of course, back in 2019. But we don't want to focus too much on that. You've got to say Chelsea's form at the moment, there's certainly nothing to worry about. Would they be in the final? So, but anyway, let's not worry. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves for the final. It's a long way off here. What we need to focus on is this game tonight, getting the right result and getting through. But it is going to be a tough game. We know it's going to be a tough game. We've got the Truth Sets Free, the Tottenham fans in the chat. How you doing? He says, big up, Richard. Big up to you, mate, for tuning in again. He says, exciting game coming. Hopefully, Liverpool have a weak lineup. I wouldn't say it's a particularly weak lineup, is it? I mean, it's only really Gordon and Jones who are maybe young players. I mean, Jones has had quite a lot of experience in the Premier League. Gordon's a young player, but they've got a lot of, it's not far off their Premier League teams. Yes, Salah and Mane are missing, of course, at the African Cup of Nations. Streamsets also says there, I know you're short in midfield. Wow, I bet you loved that Spurs game yesterday. Well, the last 2 minutes or so was reasonably frustrating, wasn't it? Spurs were losing, weren't they, until injury time? But that's the nature of football in the Premier League. We don't want to rely on other teams dropping points or anything like that. We just want to play our games, win as many as we can, and hopefully at the end of the season we'll be, as high up the table as we can be, whether that's in the top 4, whether it's in the top 6, and hopefully it will be above Tottenham. But we'll see. There's a lot of football still to be played. We've got 18 league games still to play. Hopefully we'll have a cup final to come in the Carabao Cup as well. So, but it was a great comeback from Spurs, wasn't it? To be fair, a bit frustrating, obviously, from our point of view. Man United won as well. We've briefly dropped down to 6th place, although we've got games in hand on West Ham. Spurs have got games in hand on us. It's all a little bit up and down at the minute. You can't really. The league table at the moment is a little bit all over the place due to the fact that some teams have played more and less games than others. And normally at this point in the season, it'll be very fixed, wouldn't it? Everyone's played the same amount of games, where you are. But this season, it's not been like that. Everything's everywhere. And ultimately, we've just got to keep winning as many games as we can for the rest of the season and hope it's enough to get us where we want to be at the end of it all, which, the top 4 would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Getting back in the Champions League. But ultimately, I guess, getting back into Europe, the Europa League as a backup has to be the minimum now for this season, doesn't it? And I think if we don't qualify for Europe, if we don't finish in, Mikel Arteta will be able to stay in his job, because that'll be 2 seasons in a row out of Europe. And I don't think a club like Arsenal can afford to be in that position. So there's a lot of big games coming up between now and the end of the season for Mikel Arteta's future, for Arsenal as well. But that's all to come. The Premier League is just going to be put to one side just for the next 90 minutes or so as we focus on trying to get through to a cup final. It's people say, the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever it is, doesn't matter too much, but it's a cup final. Of course it matters. It's one of the 3 sort of major English trophies, isn't it? So of course it matters, and it's a trophy that we haven't won anywhere near enough times, have we? People say, it doesn't matter, but Man City have always taken it seriously. They've won it the last 4 seasons or whatever it is. So they certainly haven't messed around in a competition, have they? So if they're going to take it seriously, everybody should, and we certainly are. You can see by our lineups in the 2 legs of the semi-final, and we need to get through. We need to win and be at Wembley, because it's great for the club. It'd be great for some of these young players as well to experience a cup final. Some of them won't even have played at Wembley before, will they? Certainly for playing club football, some of these younger players, you know, and even people like Tommy Asu, he won't have played at Wembley, probably, will he? I wouldn't have thought in his career. Ben White, has he played at Wembley? I'm not sure. Well, not for England, but not in a club cup final game. So there'll be a few players out there. Lakonga's another one, isn't he? So, you know, it's a big opportunity, isn't it, for some of these young players to go out there and really show that they want to get to the final. Last week's performance was great, and it's set us up nicely for this game tonight, hasn't it? Which is going to be tense. It's going to be exciting, I'm sure. But ultimately, I don't really care how we play. I don't care how exciting the game is, as long as we get through, whether that's after extra time, whether it's after penalties, whether it's in 90 minutes, whatever it is, we need to get through. We need to be in that final. And I'm sure if last week's anything to go by, we will give it everything that we've got to enable us to get through. Shane's in the chat, he says, hi Rich, excited for the game. Yeah, me too, mate, definitely excited. Nervous, I have to say, but excited. It will be difficult to win. Yeah, no, of course it'll be difficult to win. Liverpool are a good team, we know they are. But last week showed that, you know, we had some chances last week. I think we'll get chances tonight. And Shane says, it's the expectations that killed you. We are a young squad. Yeah, we are a young squad, but it's a young squad with potential. And if a young squad's going to reach its potential, it needs to be playing in cup finals, doesn't it? I say a lot of these players won't have experienced that in their career. And this is a great opportunity, isn't it, for them to do that. So we need to get behind them, and we need to hope that they can turn in this performance tonight, you know. I'm just going to share the show on Twitter before the game starts to see if we can get a few more people in to watch, which would be nice. And hopefully we should get a few more watching with a bit of luck. Yeah, so kickoff is a few minutes away now. Liverpool look as though they're going to be in a yellow kit actually tonight. You know, Arsenal playing Liverpool red against yellow always seems to be the best way, doesn't it? It's what's historically it's been the way, hasn't it? Some of the big games, of course, between these two sides in history. And there's been some unbelievable games, hasn't there? Arsenal v Liverpool, one of the big fixtures in English football. We've actually played Liverpool more times in the League Cup than any other team. We've played. This will be the 17th game between the sides in this competition. Over, you know, some have been over 2 legs. There's been a cup final, of course, another semi-final previously, which was 2 legs as well. A few replays. Joe's in the chat there. He says, "Oh, got our lineup. I'll just put it on the screen again for you." So we're Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Lokonga, Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Lacazette. So it's a good starting lineup for Arsenal, isn't it? It's a strong starting lineup. Liverpool have made a couple of changes, but you know, we're not going to worry too much about them. We're going to focus on our lineup. The teams are just coming out now. Liverpool in yellow, as I say, Arsenal in the red shirts, white shorts, and the red and white hooped socks. Of course, this season's home kit. Quite a popular kit. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourite home kits, but it's nice. I like the numbers actually, but it's all about the result tonight. It's good to see Tomiyasu back in the team. I think we've missed him in the games that he's not played. And the teams are getting ready now for this big game, Carabao Cup semi-final at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Liverpool. It's perfectly poised, isn't it, at 0-0 from last week. It's really set up nicely. And can we do it? We've got a slightly stronger side tonight, it has to be said. Obviously, Granit Xhaka's suspended, but Odegaard's back, Tomiyasu's back, Smith Rowe's back in the starting lineup. This is a strong Arsenal team. We're certainly we're certainly going for it, aren't we? You know, I still think it's a pretty strong Liverpool team. I know what the Truth Sets Free says. It's a weak lineup. I wouldn't say it's weak particularly. You know, most of these players have played in the Premier League on a consistent basis. It's a regular back four. You know, Fabinho and Henderson in midfield. Firmino, Jota up front. I mean, that's a good team. Let's not try and pretend otherwise. Yes, they've got young Kaeda Gordon playing in the starting lineup and Curtis Jones as well. But then, you know, we've got young players in our team, haven't we? You know, Smith Rowe still, Saka, they're both young players, Martinelli. So, you know, it's. I don't think you can. You know, you can't say Liverpool's got a weaker team than we have. I don't think that would be true. Anyway, let's see what the game brings. We are just about to get underway here at the Emirates tonight. Arsenal versus Liverpool, Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg. course, the last time we were in the semi-final of this competition, 2018, we played Chelsea, didn't we? That was the second leg, was here at the Emirates as well. We went 1-0 down before coming back to win 2-1 in exciting fashion. Of course, Granit Xhaka got the winner that night. I say he's suspended tonight, unfortunately, following that red card. And there's been a little bit of controversy and drama, hasn't there, over this yellow card situation? There's no evidence that it's anything to do with Granit Xhaka, actually. But anyway, the teams are now sort of set really for this kick-off. Liverpool's all in yellow. Liverpool will be attacking the end to our left in the first half, which is the North Bank end at the Emirates. So Arsenal will be attacking the goal to our right at clock end in the first half. That's where Liverpool fans are this evening, of course. Bargab's in the chat there. He says, hi, really excited for today's game. Yeah, we're all really excited. And Joe Daily TV as well. Hello, how you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. And we are off and running here at the Emirates. Liverpool did kick off. They are in possession down this near side. The ball was scooped forward there by Robertson, but Martin Odegaard gets an early touch and plays it back to Gabriel. He gets a long ball forward up that far side, looking for Gabriel Martinelli down Arsenal's left, but it's gone out for a throw to Liverpool. Bargab says there the play itself was weird. The yellow, yeah, I mean, it's a nice yellow kit, actually, to be fair. It's a sort of yellow that we should be, shouldn't we? Or rather than the sort of the lemony yellow that we've got this season. Anyway, we'll not really talk about kits too much because we seem to release 50,000 training kits and stuff every week, don't we? But they did wear that new one tonight, the London Underground seat covers. They were wearing them as their warm-up tops tonight, actually, the Arsenal team. I still don't really like it. I think it's a bit of a strange one. But then I remember when the Bruised Banana kit came out in, was it 91? Everybody was saying how terrible that was, and now it's become the most iconic Arsenal kit of all time. So anyway, we'll see. It's only a training kit, obviously. We're never going to wear it into a match, I wouldn't imagine. But anyway, currently Liverpool in possession in their own penalty area with Virgil van Dijk. He plays it back to goalkeeper Keller. He goes out to the far side to Joel Matip, who had a good game last week, didn't he, for Liverpool? The Cameroonian defender. But Arsenal win that ball back there with Kieran Tierney. Now Smith Rowe's got a little bit of space over on that far side. Plays the ball to Martinelli. Cuts inside Martinelli. He's got into the penalty area and over on that far side. Gabriel Martinelli. He's just held up there by Alexander-Arnold. He's still trying to battle his way through to try to get something. And he wins a corner. Martinelli there. Really good play from the young Brazilian. Inside 2 minutes there, Arsenal have got a corner. Good work there from Gabriel Martinelli. He wasn't messing around there. Determined, even though he had 2 or 3 Liverpool players around him, he did manage in the end to get the corner off of Alexander-Arnold. So Arsenal going to have their first corner of the night over on that far side. This comes in towards the near post. Oh, it couldn't quite be flicked on there by Ben White. Arsenal going back to the 1980s corner routine now. Anyway, we've still picked up the ball again with Gabriel Martinelli over on that far side again. Again, he's twisting and turning, trying to find a way to get the ball into the box. Again, he's got 3 Liverpool players around him. He's done really well. Martinelli clips it into the penalty area, but it's got a deflection. It's going to go behind for another corner to Arsenal. This is a great start from Mikel Arteta's team. Gabriel Martinelli's been at the heart of everything at the minute. He's won us 2 corners already, but Bukayo Saka's going to take this one from this near side. Can we get an early goal? Saka now swings this corner in towards the 6-yard box. It's a big header away there from Joel Matip, actually. But I still Arsenal 1 possession on the edge of the box. Liverpool can't get it away. Now it's going to come through into the arms of Keller in goal for Liverpool. That was a dangerous moment there. Arsenal couldn't quite get an effort on goal there. It was a good defensive header from Joel Matip from that dangerous corner from Saka, which came in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. But it was Matip's header, and then the ball was bouncing around inside the penalty area before it finally landed into the arms of Keller. And Smith Rowe there's picked the ball off Joel Matip on the edge of the penalty area. Martinelli now plays it in towards Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka's brought down as he on the edge of the box. The referee says yes, indeed it is. Martin Atkinson is the referee, by the way. It's a foul there on Bukayo Saka, right on the edge of the penalty area. This is a dangerous moment, this for Arsenal. We've not even played 4 minutes yet. Smith Rowe won the ball there, put Matip under pressure. It was Martinelli's cross, found Bukayo Saka. He just got in front there of Robertson. And Robertson there fouled him. Of course, Bukayo Saka absolutely gave Robertson a run around, didn't he, at Anfield last week. And again, He's caused him a problem here, and it's a free kick to Arsenal, right on the edge of the box. It's inside the D, very central actually. Curtis Jones is actually it's Gordon lying down behind the wall. It's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, a 6-man wall for Liverpool, and Gordon lying down behind it. He's got to move out of the way so Martin Atkinson couldn't put his white line there. But this is a great opportunity for Arsenal. 4.5 minutes played, get our first goal since New Year's Day. Is it going to be a goal? Martin Odegaard and Lacazette are over this free kick. Arsenal have got 4. Is Martin Odegaard. He scored from a similar position to this against Burnley in the Premier League earlier this season. Can he repeat the trick here against Liverpool? It's quite close to get up and down. It's Lacazette over the wall. It hits the crossbar. Oh, it's so close to an early goal that was from Arsenal. Lacazette there with the free kick. I said it was a bit close to get up and down. He did get it up, not quite down enough. Hit the crossbar. Possibly the goalkeeper may have got a touch on it as well. But it was a great free kick actually from Lacazette. He just got it over the wall. Looked as though it was just going to land in that top corner, but instead it's hit the crossbar. And Lacazette now is offside. But was it a save there from the goalkeeper? Lacazette's looking frustrated there. It was a good free kick, actually. A really good free kick. Curled over that wall. We'll see it again here. Over the wall. It's going in the top corner. Oh, I don't know if the keeper may have got a touch on that. If he did, it's a great save. We'll see better from this angle. Yes, the keeper did it. Didn't hit the bar. It was the goalkeeper saved it. That's a very, very good save. That was going in that top corner. Fantastic save that was actually from Keller there, who's maybe a slightly controversial selection maybe with Alisson on the bench, but anyway, he certainly justified his place in the team there with that save. But Curtis Jones now coming forward for Liverpool on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area now. It's been quite an open start to this game. Good defending that was though from Martin Odegaard. Actually won that ball back, and now Smith Rowe's battling away in midfield. His first start for a while actually, even though he's scoring a lot of goals. That's a good ball played into space down that far side for Martinelli to chase, but he's not going to get there. It's going to run through to Keller in Liverpool goal, and that is going to end that particular attack. Bargav says a great start. We've got to make the first 15 minutes count. Yeah, no, we definitely do. Tom's in the chat again. Tommy says, evening, Rich. I can't believe I'm sitting here, been gutted all afternoon, giving me tickets. Well, yeah, I don't know why you did that. I thought the game would go ahead on Tuesday. If they were going to cancel it, they'd have had to have cancelled it a lot earlier. And Bargav says, quality shot. It was a quality shot, quality save as well. But great opportunity that was, an early opportunity for Arsenal to get that lead. You do feel the first goal is going to be so important. If we do go behind, it's going to be very hard to come back, isn't it? And I think if we do score, come out a little bit more, there'll be a few more spaces for us to exploit. But anyway, at the moment it is still 0-0 as it was in the first leg. But it's been a lively start to this game. Arsenal have started well these first 5, 6, 7 minutes. We've put Liverpool under quite a lot of pressure. We've pressed them high up the pitch. We've won the ball high up the pitch a couple of times. It has led to 1 or 2 opportunities, a couple of corners, and that brilliant free kick from Lacazette, which perhaps deserved the goal, you have to say. But a great save it was from the Liverpool goalkeeper. Has kept the score at 0-0. Alexander-Arnold now swings the ball from right to left, looking for Curtis Jones. A good header from Tommy Asu. Good to see him back fit again in the team. That's a nice ball from Odegaard to Smith Rowe now in the midfield for Arsenal. He's got Martinelli outside him. He finds Martinelli. Alexander-Arnold's across, but it's still Martinelli. Can he get it across the 6-yard box? He lost it up into the air. Liverpool's goalkeeper went down there under challenge from Bukayo Saka, and I think he's got a free kick. That was all he really wanted out of that. He wasn't really looking for anything else, but that was good play from Arsenal midfield. Martin Odegaard, a lovely ball through to Smith Rowe. It was Martinelli outside him. He found him. He just got past Alexander-Arnold. Martinelli put the ball across the 6-yard box. Bukayo Saka didn't really do a lot. The Liverpool goalkeeper was quite happy to go down there. Anyway, he's won a free kick. They're just showing the Lacazette free kick again. Actually, I think it did hit the crossbar. Maybe a little bit of the goalkeeper's hand and a little bit of the crossbar. But either way, it was a great free kick. And he did do well, the goalkeeper, to save that. But he went down a little bit too easily there for me on that last attack there from Arsenal. But we've got a throw now over on that far side. Kieran Tierney is going to take it over on Arsenal's left. It has been a brilliant start this from Arsenal, I have to say. Bargav in the chat there says, is it better being home first or second? I think it depends on how the first leg's gone. In this particular instance, I think it's better that we're at home second. You know, we're starting the game level. We've got our home crowd behind us, and we've got great form at home this season. So I actually think it benefits us to be at home second leg. I mean, if we'd lost 3 or 4-0 last week, then it wouldn't have made much difference, would it? But anyway, And it's good as well to get through to a final in front of your own crowd, isn't it? So it is better this way. It's Liverpool's fault, isn't it? Because it was them cancelling the game 2 weeks ago, or the second leg would have been at Anfield last week. So anyway, let's get on with this game now. That's a good ball. Finds Kieran Tierney, plays the ball into the penalty area, but it's not a great cross, actually. It was easily cut out by Joel Matip. And then it's young Gordon tries to complete the clearance there for Liverpool. It has gone out for a throw. But this has been a really good start from Arsenal. The first 9.5 minutes. Liverpool haven't really got into our half yet. Ramsdale's not touched the ball. We've been really, really dominant on the front foot. It's how we needed to start this game. And it's exactly what we've done. And it has been a very good first 10 minutes or so. But it is still 0-0. When you're on top in games, especially semi-finals, you have to make it count. Ramsdale is going to get the ball now at his feet. He's about 25 yards outside the penalty area. He kicks it long over on that far side, looking for Martinelli, who keeps it in really well, actually. He's done really well, Martinelli. He's had a great start to this game. He didn't maybe have much influence last week, did he? But he certainly started this game well. Lokonga plays the ball into Lacazette. Lokonga gets it back, but he's crowded out there by 3 Liverpool players. But again, Arsenal wouldn't it back. That was Tomiyasu, but it's a foul just before that by Lacazette on Jordan Henderson. And it is going to be a free kick to Liverpool. Martinelli is causing all the problems for the Liverpool defence in his opening stage of this game. Brilliant there. He kept the ball in. What a first touch that was. It looked as though Alexander-Arnold was just going to nick it off him, but he managed to get in front of him, showed great strength, and he's turned past him. He's been absolutely brilliant in these opening 10 minutes, Gabriel Martinelli. That is the outlet at the moment. We haven't attacked at all down our right-hand side. It's all been down that far side, the left. So far, so Saka's not really been in the game. Of course, he had a great game last week. Everything seemed to be down his side last week, didn't it? But so far in this game, it's all down the left-hand side, and Martinelli is key to the way we're playing at this moment in time. He looks knackered already, but he's worked so hard. I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll get a second win very soon. Liverpool now trying to play it out from the back. Again, Arsenal trying to press high out the pitch, but this time Liverpool maybe are going to find a way out. That's a good ball, actually, for Fabinho out over on that far side. Good cover there from Sambi Lokonga, and he plays it back to Ramsdale. Kicks it long. At this time, it's quite central, but Bukayo Saka's underneath it. But there's not really much of a contest there with Virgil van Dijk in the air against Bukayo Saka. Virgil van Dijk won the header, but it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on this near side, which Tomiyasu is preparing to take, just wiping the ball from the wet surface. Nearly 12 minutes played here at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. That's the aggregate score as well. The place at Wembley against Chelsea in the final is up for grabs. Who is going to take it? It's going to be a very, very tense 90 minutes. Anyway, Liverpool now coming forward down this near side with Jones. He finds Diogo Jota faced with Ben White. Ben White defends well, but it's going to be a corner to Liverpool on this near side. This is their first real attack. Liverpool in their duster kit. It does look like a yellow duster, doesn't it? But anyway, it's a corner to Liverpool now. This is their first real attack, actually. And the big guns from the back, Van Dijk and Matip, are both coming up. We know the threat that they pose from set pieces. They're very, very good in the air, the pair of them. If it's a good delivery, we're going to have to defend this well. The corner comes in, it's an outswinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's right across the goal. Liverpool score, but it's going to be disallowed by offside. I'm sure it is. The flag's up. Joel Matip put it in. We said they were dangerous from corners. It was a corner to the far post. It was headed back. I think it might have been Van Dijk that got the first header. And it was a tight one, actually. It was a very tight one, but he is offside, Joel Matip. He just taps it in from about 5 yards. He was offside. It was a header from Fabinho, actually, won the first header at the far post, and Matip taps it in. So a little bit of an escape there for Arsenal, but he was offside. You can see by the replays it was the right decision. There's no VAR, of course, in the Carabao Cup this season. So if the flag hadn't gone up, that goal would probably have stood. So good job the linesman was on his game, and he did flag for offside. So well played to him. And he definitely was offside. There's absolutely no question about it. They're trying to show lines on the pitch. I'm sorry, but you don't need to bother. It was miles offside. Shane says there, would you start Trent at right back if you're England manager? I'm not sure, I'm not sure. I really aren't. I don't think he's playing that well, is he? I'm not sure if he is particularly. Yes, he's got a good set piece delivery. I don't know. I mean, I think if Kieran Trippier, now he's back in the Premier League, if he starts putting in some good performances for Newcastle, he's got to be in with a shout, hasn't he? I thought he played well at the Euros when he played. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, Trent's obviously in with a shout, isn't he? He's a good player still, but I just don't think he's perhaps been in good form this season. He's not anywhere near the form he was a couple of years ago, is he? You could say that about a few Liverpool players, actually. They're certainly nowhere near the force that they were. You know, they had those 2 seasons, didn't they? That one season when they finished second, when they won their last 12 games, whatever it was, and couldn't quite see off City, and then of course the COVID season when they won the league. But since then, I just feel as though they've just maybe dropped a little bit of a level, haven't they? Some of their top players who were really on top of their form a couple of years ago maybe dropped off a little bit. Even Van Dijk, I don't think is quite as good as he was then. He's still a very good player, of course, but I still don't think he's quite as good as he was. So yeah, it's this is a real opportunity for us, actually. There's a strange cat from the goalkeeper's going out for a throw to Arsenal. Tom says there makes a change. Officials getting the decision right at the Emirates. Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of especially with this this allegation coming in with this yellow card business. We'll have to see what happens on that. But if it's proven that maybe the referees were kind of involved, then anything that goes against Arsenal in the future is going to look really, really suspect, isn't it? They might actually do us a favour. They might have to start giving us all the decisions, mightn't they? But anyway, we'll see what happens. Shane says there, with no Europe this season, our set pieces have improved, more time on the training pitch. Yeah, that's a good point. That probably is one of the reasons why. And that's, that should be, there's no excuses, is there, that we should be improving in lots of different aspects of the play, shouldn't we? Because we don't have Europe. We have had more time to train. Yes, there's been other issues, hasn't there, this season with a COVID situation, with isolating players and other stuff as well. But it's not just quite as simple as that. But ultimately, yeah, there's no excuse not to have been working hard on everything on the training pitch. And, maybe that's why we've seen this improvement in performances in the last couple of months or so in particular. I know we got some decent results prior to that. We wasn't playing particularly well, but I think our performance level's gone up, hasn't it, in the last 6 or 7, 8 games before Christmas. And if you take the Nottingham Forest performance out of it, that was just a one-off, it seems. We've strung together a really good run of form, haven't we? Good performances. Of course, Liverpool, the first leg, we were brilliant. We only drew. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, that even when we play the top teams, even when we play at a maximum level, we're still not quite able to win the games, are we? But let's see what happens tonight. This is a good opportunity for us to put that right, isn't it? Liverpool are now settled down a little bit more. They've had a little bit more possession in the last few minutes. Matip now in possession inside the Liverpool half, finds Van Dijk, and then he plays it to this near side to Robertson, cuts in field, and he plays it back across to Matip. Liverpool just keeping some possession now. I think they're just trying to take the sting out of the play, actually, because Arsenal had such a good fast start to this game. But now Liverpool are just slowing things down, getting a foot on the ball, knocking it around, and just trying to settle down. Van Dijk with that long ball there over to that far side, looking for Gordon, who couldn't keep that in, and it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Van Dijk loves them crossfield balls, isn't he? 40-yard balls. They're usually pretty accurate. That one was just a little bit too much on it for young Gordon, and it bounced out for a throw to Arsenal over on the far side, which Kieran Tierney is going to take. He had a great game last week as well, didn't he? Kieran Tierney back in the team, of course, following his, he was out of the team, wasn't he, for a while when Nuno Tavares had a few games, but he's fought his way back and he's playing as well as he's done in his whole Arsenal career, I think, in the last few weeks. He's been absolutely brilliant. And let's hope he can play well again tonight. Arsenal win the ball back well in midfield again. That was Sambi Lokonga, and he's then fouled by young Gordon. He takes a free kick himself over on that far side, finds Martin Ødegaard, who started this game well. Martin Ødegaard, good to see him back as well. He's been out, of course, he was out with COVID, wasn't he? Obviously recovered quickly. So I'm guessing he didn't have it too bad, did he? Having experienced it myself, there's no way I'd have been playing football. A few days later, I couldn't even run for about 3 weeks. Anyway, I'm sure these footballers are a lot fitter than I am. Liverpool now trying to play it out from the back. That's a nice flick, actually. Now Liverpool coming forward. This is a dangerous moment here. Diogo Jota, he's got past Tomiyasu. Jota on the edge of the penalty for Liverpool, tries a shot. Oh, it's gone in. Liverpool have scored. It's Diogo Jota. It was a weak shot, actually. It was a good runner. He got past Tomiyasu a little bit too easily. He cut inside from from the near side, got to the edge of the penalty area. He didn't really hit the shot. It didn't look like he'd hit it particularly cleanly, actually. It was a good break from Liverpool. That was a nice ball to Jota. I think it was Alexander-Arnold, actually. He cut past Tomiyasu there, cut inside Ben White. Actually got a little deflection, and that maybe just wrong-footed Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, it was a good run from Jota there. Shot lacked any power, really, but the deflection maybe made a difference there. Was it Ben White it was deflected off, or possibly Kieran Tierney? And it just wrong-footed. He was wrong-footed, Aaron Ramsdale. I think he should save that, if I'm honest. He was moving the wrong way. Yeah, no, it was a deflection. It was a deflection that beat him, actually. He was a bit unlucky there, you have to say. But it was a bit of a scruffy goal, actually, it has to be said. But ultimately, it's an important goal for Liverpool, and Arsenal have now got a lot of work to do. That's the first goal of this semi-final. It's arrived 20 minutes into the second leg. It is Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Diogo Jota with the goal. Not the cleanest strike, but if they go in, you don't care, do you? But it's a big, big job this for Arsenal now, and that's such a shame after a really good start we've made to this game. Almost scored that free kick early on when Lacazette hit the crossbar. I did say the first goal was going to be important, and we really needed to get it. And now it's a mountain to climb. Bargav says there, no scrappy goal. It was a scrappy goal. Thank God no away goals. Well, thank God no away goals, but we still need 2 to get through, don't we? Tom says there, God, how did one of them not block that? Yeah, it was just, I don't know, they all kind of came together at the same time, and the shot, and it got the deflection. It was scrappy, but yeah, we needed to defend that better, perhaps. And I thought Ramsdale could have done better initially, but when you see the deflection, his weight was on that way. The ball's got deflected and gone the other way. Frustrating goal that to concede, especially after we've started the game so well. I mean, that must be Liverpool's first proper shot on goal, is it? Apart from the one they had disallowed, I suppose. But yeah, very, very disappointing. That really, really disappointing. But anyway, good thing is we've got plenty of time. We've only played 21 and a half minutes. We have got plenty of time to come back. Tomiyasu, who was beaten a little bit too easily by Jota for that goal, now comes forward, finds Saka on his near side. Saka's not really been in this game much yet, has he? He won that free kick that we nearly scored from very early on, but other than that, he's not really had the ball, but he's just been involved there. But then the ball's gone back to Gabriel, and he goes back to Ramsdale. And Liverpool, it is who have got the important lead in this game. But there is still plenty of time. Tomiyasu exchanges passes with Martin Odegaard. Shane says we need to get Saka on the ball more. Indeed, we do. He caused a lot of problems last week, didn't he? It's been Martinelli in the early stages of this game, but Martinelli's not really got the ball much, has he, in the last 5 minutes? Liverpool have sorted that problem out, it seems, and they have gone on and got the goal. Anyway, it's a throw now to Liverpool on this near side, which Andrew Robertson takes. It's flicked on by Curtis Jones, I think that was. And it's now gone back all the way to Aaron Ramsdale. But Arsenal really do need to just settle down. We don't need to panic yet, do we? There's plenty of time. We've started the game pretty well. We just need to keep our heads and keep playing our football, keep playing our game, and chances will come. We've already had 1 or 2 opportunities. I'm sure we'll get more. And we just need to obviously be able to take 1 or 2. Regendra's in chat. Hey there, Regendra. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Not the start we wanted in terms of the score, although we've been playing pretty well. But anyway, Liverpool are just starting to get on top. We said just before the goal, didn't we? They were just starting to maybe settle down into the game. And now, of course, they've got that early goal. They've got a free kick as well now on this near side. Robertson goes back to Van Dijk just inside the centre circle, very central. Gives it back to this near side to Andrew Robertson. Pops it in to midfield. Good play there from Sambi Lokonga. Really good battle in there. Oh, the referee's given a free kick. Didn't think that was a free kick, really. He's got in there quickly there, Sambi Lokonga. Pressing the ball. It was Firmino for Liverpool, and referee Martin Atkinson deemed that to be a foul. A little bit of a harsh decision. I thought Sambi did well to win that ball. But anyway, Liverpool are now back in possession again. It's gone back to Van Dijk. Pops the ball over to that far side. Martinelli wins a header against Alexander-Arnold. And I think those two, as we've already seen in this game, that could be a key battle in these next 65, 70 minutes that remain in this semi-final. Robertson now very central for Liverpool, moving across the pitch. Left-footed players always look uncomfortable when they move across the pitch over to the right, don't they, when they're dribbling that way. Robertson did there, but he kept possession of the ball. Now Van Dijk's got it for Liverpool, pings it to this near side. That's a good ball, but it just runs away from Curtis Jones. And it's going to be a throw to Arsenal in front of Mikel Arteta's technical area, which Tomiyasu is about to take. Mikel Arteta is, as he always does, barking instructions to his team. It's certainly not been a bad performance from Arsenal so far, it has to be said. But ultimately, we're a goal down. And that's the crucial point. Robertson there just wins that ball off Bukayo Saka. But Curtis Jones kicks it out for a throw to Arsenal. Shane makes a good point here in the chat. He says, when last we came from behind to win? That's a good question. We haven't done it very many times under Mikel Arteta, have we? We did against Liverpool, though, didn't we? Do you remember in the COVID season? The season Liverpool won the league. I think they'd already won the title. They were 1-0 up at the Emirates early on, and we came back and won 2-1, didn't we? I'm not sure if we've done it since. Surely we must have done. I mean, that'll be 18 months ago, that, won't it? So, did we do it last season? I'm trying to remember. I can't actually think off the top of my head. That's a really good point. If anybody in the chat knows when the last time we came from behind to win a game, that would be quite an interesting start. The last one I can remember was against Liverpool. I'm sure there must have been others since then. There must have been, even if it's in a cup game or something, there must have been at least one time that we've done it. But can't think. I really can't think. So we'll have to go with that Liverpool game for the time being, which may be a good sign because it's Liverpool, obviously, that we're trailing to now. So let's hope we can repeat that. Yeah, I actually can't think of a time since then. I certainly don't think we've done it this season, have we? I don't think we've come from behind to win a game this season. I can't remember one last season either. But anyway, if anybody knows, please let me know because it's annoying me now. Anyway, Liverpool coming forward again. Curtis Jones, this is a good run. He's having a good game as well, actually, the young Liverpool man. Keeps possession. He plays it back instead to Robertson now to goal scorer Diogo Jota, who's got a good goal scoring record against Arsenal. Of course, he did when he played for Wolves as well, didn't he? And he's continuing it at Liverpool. He did score in a 4-0 game at Anfield in the Premier League earlier this season. He scored again tonight. The goal that separates the teams in this semi-final. Firmino now plays it back to Robertson. Liverpool have looked good, actually, just before the goal and since the goal. They've kept possession well. We've dropped a little bit. I don't know if our confidence has been knocked slightly, but we need to pick our game up again. But this is good play on the edge of the Liverpool penalty, on the edge of the Arsenal penalty by Liverpool. Gordon now, he's got Alexander-Arnold outside him, but Martinelli read that pass, and now Martinelli brings the ball forward for Arsenal, finds Kieran Tierney over on that far side. Alexander-Arnold came back at him, but Tierney's got past him. Kieran Tierney now, Arsenal got men forward. He's got Martinelli inside the penalty area. Gabriel Martinelli turns past. Oh, was he brought down by Fabinho? Referee says no. I think that's probably the right decision, actually. I think maybe we got a little bit excited there. He did well. He got past Van Dijk, and then Fabinho came back. It was a good tackle, actually, from Fabinho, you've got to say. Just as Martinelli looked as though he'd got past Van Dijk. I seem to remember that old stat where nobody had ever got dribbled past Van Dijk. Well, anyway, we did. He got past him there, Martinelli, but Fabinho came to his rescue. That was a lovely turn from Martinelli inside the box. Great feet, but he was just about to shoot. He looked as though he was going to get a shot on goal, actually, and it was a good tackle from Fabinho. It wasn't a penalty. Good decision that was by the referee. Bargav says, we beat Benfica last year. Well, we 1-0 down, though. I know we were 2-1 down. I think we were 1-0 up and then 2-1 down. And we won. Yeah, I suppose we came from behind, but I was thinking more when we was 1-0 down. But yeah, we did actually beat Benfica from behind. That's true. That's a good shout, that. Yeah, that's right, because we were losing 2-1, wasn't we? And then I think, was it Kieran Tierney scored? He equalised, didn't he? And then Aubameyang got that very, very late header to send us through. But yeah, that probably will be the last time then. I certainly can't remember the last time we did it in the Premier League, say since that Liverpool game. But anyway, Liverpool coming forward again with Robertson on this near side. Always played the ball up the line to Jota, the goal scorer, gets to the byline, pulls it back. No Liverpool player there, thankfully, and Smith Rowe can bring it out for Arsenal. He's put under a bit of pressure, actually, loses the ball, but Kieran Tierney clears it away only as far as Van Dijk inside the centre circle. But it's all Liverpool possession and Liverpool pressure at this moment in time. We've played nearly half an hour. Arsenal really need to see this through at least until half-time. We can't afford to concede a second goal. There's a cross coming there. It goes right away across the goal all the way to this near side to Robertson. He finds Curtis Jones just on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Plays it square to Joel Matip. Looks like he's going to have to go backwards to Van Dijk. Van Dijk pings it in to Jones, back to Matip. And now Robertson, Liverpool just keeping possession pretty well. Arsenal having to defend very, very deep now. So it's vital that we don't concede a second goal, because that would be very hard to come back from. It's going to be hard enough to come back from this as it is. But we have had one or two good moments in this first half. And as long as we keep ourselves in this game, that's a ball there from Robertson looking for the run in behind of Firmino. But Gabriel, his compatriot, does well. And then he maybe could have cleared it up the pitch. Instead, he's put it out for a throw. He'd run out of options by that point. It's a throw to Liverpool in the attacking third, which Robertson's going to come across to take. This is a good spell from Liverpool, it has to be said. We just need to dig in now and keep ourselves in this game. Van Dijk for Liverpool. The game's being played in Arsenal's half of the pitch now. It's Robertson, plays it back to Curtis Jones, plays it square to Matip inside the centre circle, plays it out over to that far side, Jordan Henderson. Now it's with Gordon. Jordan Henderson gets it back. And it's now with Matip. Liverpool just keeping possession. Matip now, one of his little runs that he likes to do. He's held up briefly and then finds Van Dijk, pops it off to Robertson, and then Van Dijk runs back into space, gets the ball. This is good play from Liverpool. Oh, a loose touch there from Matip. Martinelli was in. Now Smith Rowe's picked the ball up. Now this is a good opportunity for Arsenal to try and launch a quick counter-attack. Martin Odegaard, we've got Bukayo Saka over. If he finds him, he does. Bukayo Saka on the edge of the box. Is he going to get a shot over his right foot? He does. It's blocked by Robertson. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on this near side. That was a quick counter-attack there. Martinelli won the ball back high up the pitch. And Arsenal have got a corner now. Bukayo Saka wins a corner there off Robertson. It was Matip there with a loose touch. Martinelli was in quickly. Smith Rowe picked the ball up. Good ball into Odegaard. He found Saka. It was the right ball. Robertson did well to keep Saka on his right foot. And in the end, the shot was deflected behind. And it is now a corner to Arsenal, which Saka is going to take. That was a good counter-attack. 31 and a half minutes played at the Emirates. It is still Liverpool 1-0 ahead, but Arsenal have got a corner opportunity to get this equalised. If Saka can put a good delivery in, it does towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, it's a Liverpool head. Matip again wins the header, and Liverpool do get the ball clear. Kieran Tierney now over on this right-hand side. Pings a long ball, actually looking for Gabriel, who's still up from that corner, and in the end, Alexander-Arnold lumps a long ball forward to Firmino. He can't keep it under control, and Kieran Tierney, it's another ball high up in the air, doesn't really go very far. It's just a ball in the air. Gabriel does win that, plays it on towards Martinelli. Liverpool win it again. It's just got a bit scrappy actually now. Can Smith Rowe get this ball over on that far side? No, Alexander-Arnold's across, and he plays it back to goalkeeper Keller. Shane says there, we badly need a target man who can hold up the ball. Arguably our best performance this season was City and Liverpool. We're just lacking up front. You mean someone like Vlahovic, who's looks like a target man, doesn't he? And maybe that's why we're going to be prepared to spend so much money on bringing him. I agree. We do need a more focal point up front, don't we? Which, we need to, we do need a player like that, a Giroud type player, as I like to say. That's maybe what we are lacking. It has to be said. So, but yeah, it's something that we need to look at. And I say, it looks like Vlahovic is the one that we're after. Let's see if we can get that done. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we are certainly lacking something, aren't we? A presence up front, just a target man, a physical presence up there who can win the ball, bring other people into the play, and keep the ball in the attacking third of the pitch for longer. Bargab says that everything's on our left side. Saka just not getting anywhere. No, you're right. It is all going down the left-hand side, isn't it? Which is the complete opposite of last week, actually, because Saka was causing all the problems, wasn't he, at Anfield? But Liverpool have maybe sorted it out this week. They've obviously got Curtis Jones playing just in front of Robertson as well. And we are everything has gone down the left-hand side. I mean, it's been working pretty well because Martinelli's having an absolute brilliant game, isn't he? And it is kind of working, but I agree, we need to mix it up. We need to get Saka in the game a bit more as well. And if we do, maybe that's going to be our route back into this semi-final. Ben White now plays the ball square to Samuel Lokonga. It wasn't a good touch, actually, and he's almost giving it straight to Gordon, who, in fact, he has now. Liverpool picked it up with Jordan Henderson. Played it out to Alexander-Arnold across towards the far post. Jota's up with a header, heads it back across the goal, but it's cleared away by Martin Ødegaard. But again, Arsenal are losing out inside their own final third, inside Liverpool's final third. Martin Ødegaard now can complete the clearance. That's a long ball. Again, over on that far side, looking for Martinelli, but goalkeeper Keller's going to get there first. And that attack, again, comes to nothing. But it's been pretty much relentless Liverpool pressure for much of the last 15, 20 minutes or so, which has included that goal by Diogo Jota. But Arsenal have had one or two little opportunities on the counter-attack. Almost had an opportunity with Martinelli not that long ago. A good tackle it was from Fabinho, and then the shot from Saka, which was blocked by Robertson. So we've had opportunities, and I think we're going to get more and more as the game goes on. But we've got to be careful we don't leave ourselves too wide open, because Liverpool will pick us off, as they have done many times before. They did win here 3-0, of course, last season in the Premier League in April. Really poor performance that was from Arsenal, it has to be said. But Liverpool played well that day. They won 3-0. Arsenal certainly playing better tonight than they did on that occasion. Anyway, Jota's just been fouled. It was a ball into him from Robertson. He beat Tomiyasu, and in the end, it was Martin Ødegaard came through from behind. It was a foul, and there's no question about it. He did maybe get a touch on the ball, Martin Ødegaard, but he came through the back of Diogo Jota, who is still feeling his calf. And Liverpool have taken a free kick quickly. They like to do things very quickly, don't they, Liverpool? They catch a lot of teams out by doing that. Van Dijk pings that ball over to that far side to Alexander-Arnold. He finds Curtis Jones. He gets it back, Alexander-Arnold. Fabinho lost out there to Smith Rowe. That's a good ball to Martin Ødegaard. Now, can Arsenal launch a counter-attack again? Good play that was from Ødegaard. Found Tomiyasu. Oh, but Tomiyasu tried to do too much there. He's lost out to Jota, to Jota again. Jota's causing Tomiyasu quite a few problems, actually. He didn't really get the game last week, Jota, did he? And we had 10 men, but because we had 10 men, we dropped a lot deeper, didn't we? We denied them space. Anyway, Samuel Lokonga strides out of midfield. Lacazette couldn't hold the ball up, but he was fouled. In fact, Samuel Lokonga was fouled just before he laid the ball off. Good run that was there from Sambi, though. Took the ball on, prepared to run at the Liverpool midfield. He got past a couple of players, and he was then ended up being brought down. I think it might have been by Firmino, actually. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal just inside the centre circle, inside the Arsenal half. It is Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. 37 minutes played at the Emirates, second leg of this Carabao Cup semi-final. A place at Wembley against Chelsea at the end of February is at stake. Can Arsenal turn this around? We've not played badly, it has to be said. We haven't played badly at all. We have had one or two opportunities, but unfortunately, it is Liverpool who've got that goal. And they've looked quite dominant since, to be fair. But we have had a couple of opportunities on the counter-attack. We're coming forward again now. Bukayo Saka does well under pressure from Curtis Jones. But the ball's now back with Gabriel. We can't really get any momentum going in our attacks. Our best chances have come when we've won the ball back and attacked quickly. When we've tried to keep possession, when we try to keep possession of the ball, Liverpool just get back in shape, and we haven't really managed to get anywhere. Tomiyasu over that ball over the top, looking for Saka, but he's overhit it. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Tom says there, away at West Ham, December 2019, we won 3-1. Yeah, but the Liverpool game was after that, wasn't it? Because that was like July 2020, wasn't it? So that was actually after that, the Liverpool game. I don't think there's been one since that Liverpool game, though, unless you can find one. That's a good stat. I've forgotten about that West Ham one, but yeah, that was a good one away from home, wasn't it? When we were 1-0 down, and we came back and won. That was good stuff, wasn't it? But yeah, that Liverpool one did come after that. But anyway, let's hope we can do it tonight. It hasn't been something that we've done much under Mikel Arteta, is it? I'm struggling to think of any. I mean, obviously the Benfica game, as Bargav mentioned before, that Liverpool game, and is that it under Mikel Arteta? It may well be. and that's poor. Not coming from behind to win games. You know, we used to do it all the time, didn't we? You know, under George Graham, under Arsene Wenger, it's a common thing for Arsenal. But anyway, we're coming forward now. Martinelli over on that far side does pretty well there, but again, he's crowded out by 3 or 4 players. But he finds Martin Odegaard. Tomiyasu makes a run off him. Now Bukayo Saka's got the ball, a little bit of space on this near side. He's got Robertson for company now, and Curtis Jones plays it back to Odegaard, pings it over to that far side, looking for Martinelli, but Alexander-Arnold wins that header. And Liverpool can complete the clearance with Jordan Henderson, but it's a throw to Arsenal over on the far side. Rajendra says there, that should have been a yellow card with that foul on Lakonga. And Rajendra says there, too many balls back. Yeah, we're not keeping possession very well. We have got a little bit of possession now, though. We're moving into the last sort of 5 minutes or so of this first half. It's gone pretty quickly, actually, hasn't it? But it hasn't quite gone the way we hoped it would for Arsenal as yet. It is Liverpool with that 1 goal. But we've responded okay now. We've settled ourselves back into the game. And I say we have had a couple of little half opportunities, not really anything on target since that free kick very early on from Lacazette, which Keller kind of touched onto the crossbar. Again, Arsenal won the ball back high up the pitch there with Smith Rowe. There was no Arsenal player there, though, to capitalise. And Liverpool managed to get away with that one. But again, Smith Rowe's done that a few times. He's pressed Liverpool high out of the pitch, won the ball back. That time it ricocheted off him, actually, and it could have fallen for an Arsenal player, but Saka was too far away, and Liverpool got away with that one. But if we keep doing that, I think chances will come. Bargab says there, a game like this is perfect for Aubameyang. It's sad. Is it, though? Has he ever really produced performances in games like this very often in his Arsenal career? I think he's a bit of a stat pad, isn't he, against the smaller teams when he scores regularly against them, and it looks like he's, you know, keeps his goal scoring record up, but he very rarely has done it against the big teams, has he? If you take them FA Cup games, the semi-final against Man City and the final against Chelsea when he scored 4, has he scored against any of them big teams in the Premier League? I'm not sure if he has. I can't remember too many. If he has done, he scored a lot of goals against Burnley and Watford and teams like that, hasn't he? But has he scored against Liverpool in the Premier League? Not sure if he has. Has he scored against Man City in the Premier League? I don't think he has. Has he scored against Chelsea in the Premier League? Don't think he has. So I don't know. I'm not sure if Aubameyang would be our answer in this game, if I'm honest. But anyway, we're never going to find out because he is back in London. He has been training with Arsenal, but of course we know he's not. He's not been fit, has he? He had that heart issue. Shocking news that was, actually, wasn't it? He had to come back from the African Cup of Nations early, but apparently he's been tested in London and he's okay now, which is good news. But whether he's ever going to play for Arsenal again, I don't know. That's a question only a Mikel Arteta can answer, really, isn't it? And he's certainly not going to answer it at this point in time, is he? You have to say that. I think if Aubameyang doesn't move away in January, either on loan, there is, of course, news of a potential move for him. I do get the feeling that if he's not gone at the end of January, he's going to have to play, isn't he? Between now and the end of the season, at some stage, whether he comes off the bench, whether he starts games, he's got to play, hasn't he? If he's still at the club on the wages that he's on. But then we did have the same situation with Ozil, didn't we, a couple of years ago, and he didn't play, did he? So who knows? But we'll see what happens. There's a couple of weeks to get it all sorted out, I guess. Tom says there, Uber's been very disappointing this season. Very disappointing. No, he has. And he was disappointing last season as well. He only scored 15 goals, which is okay. But for a player of Aubameyang's quality that we know he's got, it wasn't a great season, was it, for Aubameyang? And he has been poor this season as well, it has to be said. Tom says there, deserved to be benched before he was suspended. Yeah, no, he did deserve to be benched, yeah. And maybe Mikel Arteta has used some of these things as a reason to get him out of the team. It's hard when it's your captain, isn't it? To drop your captain from a team is a big statement, actually. So maybe these things are maybe worked in his favour in the end. I think I agree. He should have been out of the team before he was, because he just wasn't playing very well, was he? And I think maybe Martinelli's come in. Martinelli's done really well, and he just couldn't leave him out, could he? After that, you can't leave Martinelli out the way he's playing at the moment. So. Anyway, there's another foul there. This one's going to be a first yellow card. And guess what? It's an Arsenal player that gets the first yellow card. And who's surprised about that? Do you reckon there's some sort of betting scheme on this to run the first yellow card for an Arsenal player? You'd get pretty low odds, though, wouldn't you? This time it is Lacazette. It's for a foul on Van Dijk, is it? No, it's not. It's a foul on Actually, I think who the foul was on. Oh, it was on Curtis Jones. He was just slightly late there. It's not a great challenge, but there's been similar challenges already in this game from both teams that have gone without a yellow card. So, anyway, as there was that one on the Congo just a little while ago that Rajendra rightly pointed out could easily have been a yellow card. Tom says there, I had £10 on it. Yeah, I know. I bet Granit Xhaka had 26 grand on it, didn't he? That Arsenal get the first yellow card. But anyway, it's funny how you look at things slightly differently when you hear stories like that. And we don't know what's gone on yet, do we? Because there's not much else come out about it. But it makes you think, doesn't it? Every time there's a yellow card or some sort of weird decision by a referee, you start to think, we know the betting syndicates and stuff. There was those incidents a few years ago, wasn't there, with the floodlights and stuff like that, the betting syndicates and stuff. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? We hope that football in this country hasn't been corrupted in any way. We hope it hasn't been, but there's always that possibility, isn't there, where there's so much money involved. Liverpool coming forward again, though, down that far side across the edge of the penalty, but Ramsdale gets that one, plucks that out the air, and it will relieve that pressure. It was a cross from Gordon. We are now into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. It's only going to be 1 minute. There hasn't been a lot of stoppages, to be fair. There's been no injuries, has there? The trainings haven't been on in this first half. It has been just non-stop football, really, which has been good to see. It's been quite an even game. Arsenal started well, had that one big chance, that Lacazette free kick pushed onto the crossbar by Keller, and after that, though, Liverpool have maybe dominated the possession a lot more. They did get the goal, slightly scrappy goal, it has to be said, from Diego Jota. It was deflected. Lacazette's just committed another foul, actually, having just been booked. Jota was asking a question to the referee. Don't like to see that, really. Jota, I do like you. I think you're a good player, but there's no need to try and push the referee into sending a player off. I mean, come on. You played with 10 men against us last week when you shouldn't have. Anyway, here's a free kick. Liverpool are going to finish this half on top. It's going to be Andrew Robertson who's going to take it on this near side. It's midway inside the Arsenal half. It's a dangerous ball towards the end of the penalty. It's flicked on by Smith Rowe. It's dropped back down by Fabinho. Had the shot. It was Van Dijk. Just laid it off to Fabinho. The shot was blocked. And now Arsenal looking to come forward down this near side with Bukayo Saka. But that's a good tackle by Robertson. And in fact, the referee has blown for half time. It is Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Mikel Arteta is straight down that tunnel. Probably got a lot to work on. It's a goal from Diogo Jota there that has separated the teams. It's the only goal of this semi-final. We've played 1.5 legs of this game. Jota's goal, it is midway through that first half, has given Liverpool a lead. That do they deserve it? Maybe on a balance of play, you perhaps say that they do, but we've certainly had our moments as well. That Lacazette free kick early on, pushed onto the crossbar. We had almost a chance for Martinelli when he turned past Van Dijk, but then it was a good tackle on him by Fabinho. We've had one or two other half chances, bright moments, but it hasn't quite fell for us in front of goal, has it? But we're going to have to find a goal from somewhere. Certainly, we're going to have to find a goal or two, aren't we? Bargab says, a pacey striker running into spaces with Uber, wrong system after the Cups. Yeah, it possibly was. I think Uber's attitude didn't really help him, did it? Bargab says, if it is a yellow making the rounds on Twitter, it's such a weird yellow by Xhaka. Yeah, it was, but I was sort of, when you look at that game, Xhaka, there was a couple of incidents earlier on in that game where I thought Xhaka was lucky not to get a yellow card, actually. I remember saying it at the time. There was an incident, wasn't there, over on the far side where a few players got involved from both teams. Xhaka was part of it. He was involved, and he could have got a yellow card for that. So if he was trying to delay getting a yellow card until the closing stages for time wasting, he wasn't really going about it very well, was he? Because he was fortunate not to get a yellow card. It makes me think the referee was involved and didn't book him then because he knew he needed to book him later for something else. So I don't know. If it is that game, if it is that incident, then I think there's a lot more to come out about that. They're being paid by the syndicate, the referee, possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. Bargab says Laka and Saka need more in the second half. Yeah, Lacazette's not been in it much, is he? Saka's not been in it much. We need to get them more in the game. You're absolutely right. Rajendra says we cannot dispute any call from the English refs in the Premier as they are a syndicate. Well, you can't criticise them. That's for certain, isn't it? I mean, you're just not allowed to, are you? The managers can't, the players can't, fans can't. They don't come out and sometimes I think they need to come out and just, talk to the media and say, well, I made this decision, or we made this decision as a group for this reason or that reason. And then maybe you could accept it a little bit more, but they just hide behind the sort of barricade, don't they, of, well, the referees don't speak. I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't. But anyway, I guess we're not going to solve the problem with the referees, are we? The problem we've got to try and solve in the second half is getting a goal or two to get to the final. It's still in the balance for us. It's not over yet, but it is going to be tough. Tom says there, Arteta storming back to the dressing room. He did, didn't he? Let's get that team talk down. Need to mix it up in the second half. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because if you listen to a lot of the players who played under Arsene Wenger, you read books from some of the players which I've got. Arsene Wenger never used to go in straight away at halftime, did he? He used to hang back, let the players maybe shout and scream at each other for 10 minutes. He would be in a different area, having a cup of tea, and then he would come through at the end and just basically go over the things that needed to change. And it's a totally different attitude, isn't it? Arteta, you can imagine Arteta going, you saw the way he stormed down the tunnel there. You can see Arteta going in there. And I don't think he's necessarily a teacup thrower in the Alex Ferguson mould, but I do think that he would be straight in there, straight away, not giving the players any time to sit and relax and digest it themselves. He'll be straight in on them. You can see that's what he would do, because he's doing it on the sideline all the time, isn't he? And is that always the right approach? I don't know. I think some of the younger players in particular maybe respond to that and have responded to that. I'm not sure the older senior players have done particularly well, and I think that's why we've seen problems with players like Ozil, with Aubameyang, and some of the more senior players, Kolasinac, and these players that are now out of the club as well. You can maybe see that perhaps Arteta's approach didn't really suit them. They just didn't get on with it. And maybe Arteta needs to look at that a little bit and adapt. I'm not saying he should be like Arsene Wenger, because Arsene Wenger's his own man. And, it's just obviously Arteta did play under Wenger, didn't he? So he must have learned something from him, as he has done from Pep as well. I mean, I can see Pep being a bit of obviously we saw that documentary. You can see what Pep can be like. He can be a little bit, he's got that Latin temperament, hasn't he? But I don't know. I think Mikel Arteta needs to, I don't know. I just feel that he needs to sometimes hang back a little bit. I think he's far too ready to jump on people, and I don't necessarily think that's always going to be a good thing. Regenda says a lucky goal. It was a lucky goal, yeah. Unfortunate. It was unfortunate. It was a lucky goal, but why can't we get a lucky goal? Why can't we get one at the other end? And that's what we need to do. Shane says Liverpool streetwise, they are. I think we need Party on, ESR off, midfield battle, we lose. I think ESR's doing all right, actually. And how fit is Thomas Partey? He's just flown from Africa. It would have only got back yesterday because they played on Wednesday night, didn't they? Or it was Wednesday afternoon there, but Tuesday afternoon, sorry. They've only got back yesterday, wouldn't he? He must have a little bit of jet lag as well. He's clearly not fit to be starting the game. I think they've only thrown him on the bench because he's back, and because look at the young players we've got on the bench. And I think that's the only reason. I'll be amazed if he comes on in this game. I've got to be honest. I'm amazed he's on the bench, actually, but I'll be surprised if he plays. I don't think he'd be ready to play, really. Sam's in the chat later. Savvy says, if we lose this, he might as well get fired. What has to happen before a coach leaves? Well, I think that's a little bit harsh, to be fair. We've still got the top four to play for. I don't think we want to sack a manager when we're in the position that we're in the league. Let's see where we are at the end of the season, and we may need to look at it then. Sam says, and he cannot handle senior players. Yeah, I was just saying that. I totally agree. He can't handle senior players. He's good with the youngsters, isn't he? He should be youth team manager, maybe. He'd rather young kids who obey his every word. I've never seen Arsenal cancel so many contracts. No, exactly. And it is the senior players that cancel the contracts. And you got to say that in a way that's a good thing, because these players were never going to play for Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta's got an issue, hasn't he? He's got this first 11, which is mainly the team that's playing tonight, funnily enough, with one or two, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka would come in. And he doesn't seem to trust, or he didn't seem to trust a lot of them squad players. They were never getting. Rob Holding doesn't play very often anymore. Cedric wasn't playing. Mari didn't play at all. He's gone now. Kolasinac wasn't playing. And yes, you could say that the players that are playing now are better, and I would not disagree with that. I think they are better, but you need a squad. You can't play, even though we haven't got Europe this season. You can't play all your first 11 in most of your 38 Premier League games and your cup games. You just can't do it. You need to give your squad players minutes on the pitch, because when you do need them, as we've seen recently, Some of them haven't quite been up to pace because they've not played. Rob Holding struggled sometimes. Cedric struggled for these reasons, and I think that there's an issue as well. And Arteta needs to. Yeah, he does have a problem with senior players, or he seems to, and the young players do seem to really, really respond to him, and that's good because we've got a lot of young players, and the young players have been key, haven't they, over the last couple of years. You look at what Smith Rowe's done, what Saka's done, and some of the young players now that we've brought in. Tomiyasu, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? Sambi Lokonga, I mean, look how well he's doing now. He was brilliant last week. He's having a decent game again today. Martin Odegaard's a young player, and Arteta was keen to sign him, wasn't he? Because he knew that he's a sort of player that he can work with. And I do think that's the problem that we've got is certain characters are going to be the sort of players that Arteta needs because they're the players he can handle and work with. And I think other players maybe aren't going to be able to. He's not going to be able to adapt enough to work with some of them, is he? And that's why, as you said, cancelling contracts right, left, and centre, saving us money, I guess, and that's a good thing. Maybe free up money for some better players to come in. Joe says, "Yeah, we definitely need a striker this January." It seems that way, doesn't it? It does seem that way, and we seem to be throwing all our eggs at Vlahovic, don't we? Let's hope we can get that over the line or somebody. I don't know. We'll have to see. Vlahovic looks like he's a good option. He's a big lad. He looks like he's a target man, as we said earlier. Joe says there no cutting edge. There isn't really, is there? There hasn't been. You think about it now. This would be if we don't score in the second half. That'll be 3 games in a row without scoring. And we only scored 1 against Man City. 1 goal in the whole of 2022 so far. And yes, we've had some difficult games, but even so, we were scoring loads of goals before Christmas, wasn't we? In fact, December we scored the most goals out of anyone. Shane says there, yeah, because the senior players went on to do wonders in new club. They got too comfortable. They're a huge problem in their club. No, I agree. I'm not saying that Arteta's the problem always. I think the players did let themselves down. Some of them senior players definitely did. There's no question about that. And 1 or 2 of the senior players now, Aubameyang, for example, are also letting themselves down now. But it's ultimately, though, you've got to look at what the manager's doing with these players as well. And I think that's maybe where Arteta, he's still a young manager. He's still learning, and maybe what he needed to do was perhaps he did need to maybe manage our under-23 team. Maybe him and Per Mertesacker perhaps had the wrong jobs. Maybe, who knows? And got some experience there actually managing a group of players, managing a team before he could have stepped up. Maybe that was a problem. I don't know. But anyway, ultimately, overall, we're doing okay at the minute. We're in the top 6. We've got games in hand over some teams, and we're battling for that top 4. We've still got an opportunity to get to Wembley. So let's not be too harsh on Arteta. He's doing pretty well at the minute. He's got a big half time now. Hopefully, he's doing something now at half time to help us turn this game around. Joe says there also need a really good midfielder, either a CDM or a CDM. No, you're right. Midfield is our biggest. I think it's our biggest issue. It's probably even a bigger issue than a forward at the moment. We're just weak. We're low on numbers in midfield more than anything else. We saw that when Thomas Partey was away. We're thinking who's going to play there. Martin Odegaard was out. I do think we need some bodies in midfield, definitely. Tom says there we had a lot of deadwood at the club. We did. Just then topping up their pension, we needed to ship them out. No, you're right. We did need to ship them out, and it's good that we have done. It's just, the fact that they were completely frozen out, wasn't they? I mean, Pablo Mari, what's he done? I'm not saying he's a great player, but he was frozen out of the squad completely, wasn't he? It just seems strange that even on the bench, when he was picking the same 11 every week, he was almost picking the same subs as well, wasn't he? It's like, why not put Pablo Mari on the bench instead of Rob Holding one week? Or stuff like that. I just didn't quite understand why these players just got frozen out. That doesn't seem a good way to treat a footballer. I don't think freezing them out completely, unless there's a massive reason why. But Pablo Mari didn't seem to have any problems, did he? He seemed, did you remember that game when he was on the bench and he was having that conversation with Arteta? I can't remember what game that was now. Sam says there, why don't we set high standards for our coaches? Well, yeah, that's a point. Chelsea are already asking questions about Tuchel, and Arsenal's hierarchy have said there's no real goals for this year. I guess where we've been over the last couple of years, the goal has to be Europe next season. It has to be. And I'm sorry, but if Mikel Arteta doesn't get us in Europe, then I don't think he deserves the opportunity to still be at the club next season. That's my view. I think he would have failed. I think that would be a massive failure if we don't get in Europe. So it is something that he's got to look at. He's got to improve. He's got to do that for this season. And I think the club want that as well. I do. I think the hierarchy at the club want Arsenal to be back in Europe and want us to be challenging for trophies again. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I agree, though. Chelsea have got ambition for their club to be winning trophies and be competitive and competing on a regular basis. We don't seem to have that, do we? We haven't seemed to have had that for a while. And I agree with that. We do seem to lack that at the club, and it's been holding us back. There's no doubt about that at all. We've got a few more comments coming while we was talking about that. Joe says there, surely if true, we will be signing a striker with Balogun gone, Uber not playing, leaves us Eddie and Laka. No, you're right. I think it's obvious that we need a striker. It's just whether we can get the deal done. And if we're throwing everything at Vlahovic and we don't get him, have we got a backup plan? Have we got someone maybe on loan come in till the end of the season until we can get Vlahovic, if that's going to be the one that we want? We're going to have to see. Something needs to happen in the next couple of weeks. You're absolutely right, because Eddie and Laka isn't enough, is it? And I think midfield we're short as well. I think we bought a lot of players in the summer. We need to buy a lot more. We're still short of where we need to be, I think. Bargav says, as a whole, though, we laid a good foundation for one or two top stars to fit right in 2 or 3 years. No, we have. We've got these great young players, and we need to build around them, but we do need more experience. And unfortunately, if Arteta can't deal with experienced players, we're going to have the youngest team in the Premier League, aren't we? Because we won't buy experienced players. He won't buy them, will he? I mean, what experienced players has he really bought that's worked out? None. Pablo Mari, he bought him, didn't work. Cedric Suarez, a bit more experience, bought him, it hasn't worked. I just don't understand it personally. I really don't. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Shane says there, January is a huge month for us. Well, we're halfway through it. In fact, we're more than halfway through it. It's the 20th today. There's only 11 days left. It can make or break our season. So far, it's crap. Well, so far, we've done nothing, have we? Well, we haven't done anything that we can see. There may be stuff going on behind the scenes we haven't seen that may well come out to fruition. Liverpool making a sub, actually. Canate is coming on. Not quite sure who's going off. Arsenal now coming back out for the second half. Sam says, Emery got fired for being fifth and took us to the Europa final. Yeah, he did. I mean, it wasn't so much finishing fifth that got him sacked, was it? It was the start to the season after that, probably, that was the reason. But I agree, he finished fifth, missed that on the Champions League by 1 point. And then, of course, because we didn't start the next season particularly well, he was gone. And, was we showing ambition there? I would have said we had if we'd got in an experienced manager to replace him, but we didn't. We got Arteta. So did we, I don't know, did we not have the ambition to take the club forward? I don't know. Anyway, it's Joel Matip who's gone off for Liverpool. I don't know if there was an injury there. He did score that goal that got disallowed, didn't he? Joe says there, with Xhaka banned for this game, shows how desperate we are. Partey only played 2 days ago. Yeah, exactly. Straight here, so they know we have a problem, yet selling still. Yeah, well, it's loans as well, isn't it? Maitland-Niles was a strange one for me. He played against Watford, got man of the match. Didn't get a look in after that. In midfield as well, which is where we need. I mean, that's the strangest one for me. The Maitland-Niles loan. I don't understand that. That's baffled me. That really has. So anyway, Sam says there the audio from the TV is coming through. Actually, yeah, I'll turn that down because I had an issue with that before. Actually, that's a good point. Let me sort that out. Let's see. Oh, that's better. Is that better? That's better, isn't it? We don't want to get shut down, do we? Shane says there, Matip is the most underrated defender in the Premier League. I must admit, he's a lot better than I used to think he was. I thought he was their weak link at one time, but he's been decent actually, hasn't he? And he was decent last week. He'd been playing well in that first half. It must be an injury. Joe says there, Ainsley can play midfield and can play fullback as well. Exactly. He's a versatile player, and he's the sort of player that you need in your squad, isn't he? That sort of player who can fill in 2 or 3 different positions. You have him on the bench. If you've got a problem, you can bring him on, and he can play in 2 or 3 different places, can't he? And he can do a job. And it baffles me why he hasn't got more minutes, why he wasn't used more off the bench. Again, it's Arteta uses the same 14 players every week, doesn't he? The same starting 11 and the same 3 subs he brings on, and other people just wasn't getting a look in. And you can't manage a squad like that. You just can't in the Premier League, because you need 20 players, don't you? You need to be using as many of them as you can consistently so that they get minutes. And yeah, not having Europe doesn't help, because a lot of these players would have played Europa League group games, wouldn't they? But he's had to manage it better without Europe, and he hasn't really done that. Yes, you want to win games. I'm not saying make 5 or 6 changes every game, but you're kind of rotating away. So you're giving people like Maitland-Niles minutes. You're giving Pablo Mari minutes. You're giving these players, Rob Holding, more minutes. So when they have to play, Cedric, so when they have to play, they're ready. And they can come in and they're switched on and can do a job. Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward down this near side with Gabriel Martinelli. Again, every time he gets the ball, he's got 3 Liverpool players around him, and he loses out there to Gordon, who tries to play the ball through to Diogo Jota, of course, the goal scorer. We've played 2 minutes of the second half. It's been quite scrappy, actually, at the start of the second half. There's no real pattern from either team. But Arsenal looking for this guy. It's a good ball down that far side. Finds Bukayo Saka. Is he onside? The flag stayed down. He is. Against Robertson now. Bukayo Saka just on the edge of that penalty area. Cuts inside. Can he get across him with his left foot or maybe a shot? He finds Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard tries to loft it back to Saka. The wrong choice. What he should have done was either had a shot there, Martin Odegaard, or just rolled the ball into him rather than trying to be clever, dink it over the top. And it's right for Liverpool. Joe says there, it's good that he plays a consistent squad, but how can players fight for place when they don't? But exactly. That's the point, isn't it? You need to be giving players opportunities in the team. Yes, training plays a part, but ultimately, if they're not getting minutes on the pitch in the game, they're not going to prove if they can do a job, are they? And yeah, it is a matter of, for me, it comes down to trusting your players a bit more, and I don't think Arteta does. He's going to play him into the ground. Anyway, Smith Rowe now finds Martinelli on this near side. Gabriel Martinelli coming forward. He's been the main danger. It's a great ball in towards the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Van Dijk. Again, Martinelli is our main threat going forward in this game. Now Sambi Lokonga. Ball over the top for Lacazette. Lacazette's inside. Oh, he put it over the bar. Oh, Lacazette has missed it. As Joe says there. How's Laka not hit the target? He rushed it, didn't he? He rushed it. It was a lovely ball. He was onside as well. Lovely ball over the top from Sambi. Good first touch, and then he rushed the shot. He was under pressure a little bit, to be fair, from Alexander-Arnold. A great first touch, actually. But then he rushed the shot. It was actually Robertson came back at him, put it over the bar. And Joe says there, that's when we need a Dusan Vlahovic. Well, yeah. Whether he would have scored that or not, we'll never know. But yeah, that wasn't a very composed finish at all, was it? It was a good first touch initially, but then he lacked the composure, didn't he? Just he knew the defender was coming. He just needed an extra touch, and then he could just roll it in the corner. Instead, he rushed it, and that's the problem with Lacazette. For all his hard work, he just isn't clinical enough, is he? He's just not clinical enough. And in games like this, these are the games where you don't get many chances. You've got to be more clinical when you do. And unfortunately, there he rushed that. I really think he did. Anyway, Arsenal won the ball back high up the pitch. It's Sambi Lokonga. They're having a good game, Sambi Lokonga. It has to be. That was Saka, sorry, actually won that. But Sambi Lokonga having a good game. Tomiyasu trying to come forward down that far side. But it's got deflected actually off Curtis Jones. It is a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Tomiyasu. Oh, he's had a haircut, Tomiyasu. Actually, looks nice and smart with his new haircut. Finds Bukayo Saka there with that throw back to Martin Odegaard. Inside to Sambi Lokonga, just pops it back to Ben White. Arsenal now getting a little bit of possession in this second half, but can we get the goal? Lacazette had that opportunity there that he should have done better with. As Joe says, I'm not quite sure how he didn't hit the target, but he rushed it for me. That's what he did. Anyway, Arsenal now looking for a breakthrough. Ben White, a long ball over the top, looking for the run of Smith Rowe, but it was Kouyaté, the substitute, who won that header. Again, they took off Matip, and Kouyaté's come on. He's a big fellow as well, isn't he? Aerial threat. Van Dijk wins that header again. He's great in the air, isn't he? Jota now over on that far side, gets past Ben White. Ben White comes back at him. Well, he's got past Ben White far too easily there. Diogo Jota. Is this going to be the second goal for Liverpool? Pulls it back. Oh, it's a miss. Gordon there with almost an open goal from 6 yards. Should have scored. That should be 2-0 to Liverpool. Ben White was beaten far too easily there from Jota. Got past him. Good play, actually, from the little Portuguese forward. He did really well there. Ben White brushed off far too easily. He picked the right ball, pulled it back to Gordon about 10 yards out, and he fired it over the goal. That was an absolute sitter that was there from the young Liverpool player. Fired it high over the crossbar into the Liverpool fans behind the goal. Is that going to be the turning point in this game? That was the moment for Liverpool to go 2-0 up. I'm sure that would have sealed it. But he's missed. And now Is that going to let us back into this semi-final? Joe says there, surely if we don't get a striker January, Arteta need to make up a move on. Well, yeah, that's what I said. If he's going to stay at the club in January, Uber's got to play more, isn't he, in the next half of the season? I'm not saying he should start every game. He's been stripped of the captaincy, but he certainly needs to play. Martinelli now on his near side. Can Arsenal make Liverpool pay for that miss? Martinelli again looking dangerous, twisting and turning, trying to get a cross in. Instead, he's forced back to Gabriel into Smith Rowe. Back with Gabriel again. Arsenal now just keeping a little bit of possession, but we're not really causing Liverpool too many problems at the moment. The ball's now back with Aaron Ramsdale midway inside the Arsenal half. Just pops it off to Gabriel. He's got Kieran Tierney now on this near side. Instead, he goes back to Ben White and out to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's not had much influence on this game, has he? Plays that ball out to the far side to Lacazette. Sambi Lokonga switches the play or tries to switch the play to Martinelli, but it's cut out by Alexander-Arnold. Tierney wins it back well for Arsenal. Again, he finds Sambi Lokonga, who's playing well for Arsenal. It has to be said, he's having a good game tonight. Joe says there, Martinelli on the wing is what I think Arteta wanted Uber to be like last season. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Martinelli, that position maybe suits him better anyway. He's certainly playing a lot better there than Aubameyang's done for a while. But we need a goal. And we haven't had a shot on target so far in the second half. We played 53 minutes of this game. As you can see, it's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. A long ball now looking for Martinelli. The goalkeeper comes out. He's going to get there first. Martinelli does run into him. And although the ball briefly fell from the goalkeeper's arms, the referee has given a free kick, has he? Yeah, he has. It was a long ball there over the top. Martinelli kept himself onside. He made Alexander-Arnold have to make a decision. In fact, it run through towards Kayate. The goalkeeper came out and he did win a free kick there from Martinelli. But again, that long ball over the top causing Liverpool defence a few moments of anxiety. But now Liverpool coming forward themselves. Just missed that big opportunity to make it 2-0. That surely would have finished this off. You have to say that second goal for Liverpool at this point. And I don't think we come back from that. I've got to be honest. We haven't really threatened enough anyway. Oh, there's an opportunity now again. This is an opportunity now for Fabinho. Don't know why he didn't shoot. He put it out to that far side, looking for, was that Curtis Jones out there? I don't know why he didn't have a shot for Fabinho. He looked as though he was almost clean through on goal inside the penalty area, but he did look for a pass, luckily, and the chance has gone. Smith Rowe does well. Or Martin Odegaard tried to thread the ball through to Martinelli, but it hit a Liverpool player. And now Ramsdale's having to come out of his area and clear the ball away to Sambi Lokonga. That's a nice little cushion pass to Kieran Tierney. Plays it long, but to no one in particular. And it's going to go all the way through to goalkeeper Keller. Joe says there, we're just not creating anything really. No, we're not. We created more with 10 men last week at Anfield, didn't we? We had one or two really good opportunities and we're just not creating anything. That Lacazette chance just before was perhaps the one. I wouldn't say that was an easy chance, but it was a good opportunity, wasn't it? And he needed to do better, really. Anyway, Lacazette's just conceded a free kick for a foul on Fabinho inside the centre circle. He needs to be careful, Lacazette. He has received a yellow card. I think it's the only yellow card of this game, actually, so far. Anyway, it's a free kick to Liverpool inside the centre circle. Van Dijk takes it, finds Alexander-Arnold, played it in to Jota, tried to lay it off to Firmino, but it wasn't a great ball. Ramsdale instead finds Odegaard, plays it out to that far side. Tomiyasu's lost out there, and then he pulled his man back. The referee is going to give a free kick. I wouldn't be surprised if Tomiyasu gets a yellow card for that. In fact, he is going to get a yellow card. He was caught out there, Tomiyasu, and Curtis Jones took the ball off him, got round the wrong side of him, and then he pulled him back. Easy yellow card that was for the referee, that decision there. Joe says there, Tommy's struggling. Definitely think he might bring Tavares on. Yeah, I don't know how fit he is. Obviously, he missed the game last week. Pretty sure. In fact, he missed the game against Man City as well, didn't he? Was he fit for Man City? I can't remember now. It seems such a long time ago. January is such a long month, isn't it? It seems to last forever. Anyway, it is going to be Robertson with this free kick for Liverpool. Arsenal have got some defending to do because a second goal, I say now, 56 minutes would make it very, very difficult. Free kick in towards the edge of the 6 yard box. Tommy actually does well that time, wins the header. but Liverpool still keep possession with Gordon. He finds Kyoto on his near side. Liverpool still in possession with Roberto Firmino. Plays the ball square into midfield to Jordan Henderson. Plays it out to Robertson. Almost a loose ball there. Good play actually from Curtis Jones. He's a good player, isn't he, Curtis Jones? You have to say. Now, Fabinho, this time he does shoot from further out than maybe last time when Matt probably should have done. Lacazette wins the ball off him. Can't find the pass. Lacazette's gone down. Referee not having any of it. And now Liverpool can come forward down that far side. Alexander-Arnold with a cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Ramsdale comes with a punch. And it's going to go behind for a corner to Liverpool. Ramsdale took out his own player. It was Kieran Tierney actually looking to get a punch on the ball there. It was good goalkeeping in the end from Ramsdale. And in the end, he's clattered into Kieran Tierney. And Kieran Tierney has now gone down. It's going to be a corner to Liverpool over on that far side. Kieran Tierney's back on his feet again. If you get hit by Aaron Ramsdale, you stay hit, don't you? But here's a corner now to Liverpool. We need to be solid and strong here at the back. We've got to see this through. Got to keep ourselves in this tie because, you know, we can get a goal, a set piece or counter-attack, but we need to keep ourselves in it first. But this corner now for Liverpool, I don't know what they're waiting for. They've been wasting time here. You get yellow cards for wasting time. It's going to be Alexander-Arnold with this corner for Liverpool. It's an outswinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in. It's hit the post. And then Henderson puts a follow-up in and Ramsdale saves it. Arsenal escape again. In fact, it's a goal kick, is it? I thought Ramsdale saved that second one. That first header there from Kouyaté, towering header that was. Not great defending from Arsenal. In fact, it's given us offside against Henderson. It hit the post. And Henderson's shot was saved by Ramsdale, but Henderson was offside. If the original header had gone in, that would have counted. It would have been 2-0. Both teams have hit the woodwork in this game. Liverpool also had a goal ruled out. We got a bit lucky there. That was a towering header that from the substitute. Kouyaté, the big French defender, but beat Ramsdale all end up, came back off the post. And Henderson's follow-up was saved by Ramsdale, but he was offside. But that's twice now. We've got lucky a little bit to still be in this game. Tomiyasu miscontrolled the ball, but got away with it. And now he's got a little bit of space down that far side. Tries to play the ball up the line to Bukayo Saka. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Are we going to be able to make Liverpool pay for those misses? Because that's sometimes how football works, isn't it? You miss chances when you should kill a game off and then you end up losing. And let's hope that's going to happen tonight for Liverpool. Kieran Tierney now plays up the line to Martinelli. Running at Alexander-Arnold. Good play again from Martinelli. Cuts inside to Martin Odegaard. Pings it out to that far side to Bukayo Saka. Is he finally going to have a positive influence on this game? He's done well against Saka. Can he get a cross in to the far post? Nobody's attacking the ball. Great cross it was. Kieran Tierney now on a follow-up. And it's gone behind for a corner. Brilliant play that was from Bukayo Saka. He's not been able to get in this game. Once again, though, he proves that when he's on the ball, he's dangerous. Got that cross into the far post. No Arsenal player attacking it. Came through to Tierney on the near side. And his attempted cross is put behind for a corner, which Martinelli's going to take. It's going to be an in-swing here on this near side. Can Arsenal get the equaliser? We've played an hour at the Emirates. It's still 1-0 to Liverpool. Martinelli's corner towards the 6-yard box. Kayla comes out and punches it. Falls to Smith Rowe on the edge of the penalty area. He was always falling backwards. Hit that on the volley. It's gone high over the bar. Good punch, though, from the Liverpool goalkeeper initially, but it was going to take a hell of a strike from Smith Rowe from there to score when he was off balance. And it's gone over the bar. And it is a goal kick to Liverpool. Arsenal certainly need to find something from somewhere in this final 30 minutes or so that remain of this game. It's not gone as we hoped it would. It's not been a bad performance from Arsenal, but as we've said already, we're not creating too many opportunities, and Liverpool have defended pretty well where they've had to, but we just haven't put them under enough pressure. We're just not creating hardly anything at all, and it is quite frustrating. But anyway, let's see what happens in these final 30 minutes. I say a big 30 minutes it's going to be as well for Arsenal if we can somehow manage to find this equaliser. It'll all be to play for, won't it? Possibly extra time and penalties on the horizon if we do, but we need a goal We need to offer more of an attacking threat. Gabriel with that long ball over the top again. It's a long ball over the top to nobody. Nobody's. Why are you wasting possession like that? Why are we forcing it? We don't need to. Keep possession. Play the ball to feet. Pull Liverpool around, and then we'll get an opportunity. Just hit aimless long balls. We've done it 3 or 4 times in this game. Just an aimless long ball forward to nobody. We haven't even got a target man up there anyway to aim at. Just silly possession given away. We've got to do better. Liverpool have now got possession again, and we know what it's like with Liverpool. They're difficult to get the ball off. When we get it, we've got to make better use of it. Van Dijk now rolls it across to Kouyaté. Just unlucky, wasn't he, with that effort? Just Konate with that effort just a minute ago. It came back off the post. Now Alexander-Arnold with a ball across the box. It beats everybody. Oh, Gabriel just manages to get a foot there before Jota. A great ball from Alexander-Arnold. That is one thing he's good at. He's whipping them balls in from that right-hand side. Brilliant ball that was across the 6-yard box. Oh, there's a yellow card actually for Konate. The referee, that's the first yellow card for Liverpool player actually. But it was a good ball up the line from Konate there to Alexander-Arnold. He whipped an early ball in, curling away from the goalkeeper. Nobody could get there. In the end, Ben White managed to get a touch on it, and Gabriel was able to complete the clearance. But that was another dangerous moment there. And in fact, Gordon is now going off for Liverpool. KJ Gordon, and it's going to be Minamino who missed that big chance last week. Gordon's missed a big chance this week. Are those 2 misses going to prove to be crucial for us, Arsenal in the semi-final? We'll have to see. But Minamino is on now for Gordon. The first change, actually no, the second change of Liverpool, sorry, because Konate came on, didn't it, at half-time. He has now received a yellow card, the big French defender. That's a long ball from Ramsdale looking for Martinelli. Alexander-Arnold wins ahead of it. Martinelli was offside, and it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. So far, Arsenal haven't made any substitutions. You have to say we don't have a lot on the bench, certainly in an attacking sense. Eddie Nketiah is maybe one that you could possibly think maybe worth throwing him on at some point. Thomas Partey's warming up just 48 hours after he played for Ghana in the African Cup of Nations. Incredible that he's on the bench tonight for Arsenal. Absolutely amazing stuff. Will he get to come on? That would probably be the quickest turnaround for a player playing in African Cup of Nations to also then play for his club as well. But anyway, maybe we could be lucky in the sense that Ghana went out, giving him the opportunity to be here tonight. If he comes on and makes or scores a goal, then obviously Ghana getting knocked out would have been a massive positive for us, wouldn't it? Anyway, Liverpool coming forward. Curtis Jones over on that far side. Now it's Robertson for Liverpool. Tries to play the ball through Martin Odegaard's there, but it's fallen kindly to Liverpool again. It's Jota with the outside of his foot across, but it comes through to the near post to Ramsdale, looking for Minamino. But comfortable that was there for the Arsenal goalkeeper. And Arsenal will have to build from the back now with Ben White just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Finds Martin Odegaard, gets it back. Plays it out to Tomiyasu. Arsenal just keeping possession inside their own penalty area, but we need the ball up the other end at some stage if we're going to find a way back into this semi-final. That rather scrappy goal from Diogo Jota midway through the first half is all that separates the teams. 1-0 to Liverpool on the night, 1-0 on aggregate. And Arsenal are on the verge of going out of a second cup competition in less than 2 weeks. But Arsenal have won a free kick now. We've played okay tonight, and that's probably the frustrating thing for me. We have played okay, but not quite created enough opportunities. And we've maybe not defended particularly well at times either. And we've got away with a couple, haven't we? A couple of chances Liverpool have missed tonight, which has kept us in this tie. But we need to make the most of that now. Bukayo Saka, who's been kept quiet, actually, after a great performance last week. Gabriel now striding forward for Arsenal, plays it to this near side to Kieran Tierney. He's got Sambi Lokonga in support. He finds the Belgium, plays it back to Gabriel, pings it to Smith Rowe. This is better from Arsenal. We're now playing some football in Liverpool's half. It's come back to Gabriel, though, just inside the Arsenal half. Now finds Kieran Tierney, tries to thread it up the line towards Martinelli. He's got there, actually. The ball bounced through Smith Rowe there, tries to flick it round a corner, but Alexander-Arnold will clear it away. Gabriel's underneath that. It's a good header forward. Konate there heads it out for a throw to Arsenal on this near side. We've played 66 and a half minutes at the Emirates. Liverpool are 1-0 up still. That first half goal from Diogo Jota is all that separates the sides. Can Arsenal find the equaliser and then hopefully go on and win and reach Wembley, where Chelsea await Sambi Lokonga there, and it's now back with Aaron Ramsdale. It's not the way Arsenal need to be going. We don't need to rush it because we've still got enough time, but we need to try to get the ball into Liverpool half. Fabinho there does well, and then Jota plays it back to Fabinho again. He's now got Curtis Jones. Good play from Liverpool again. Jota, that's good tackle that was from Ben White. That's much better. Now Arsenal can maybe get a counter-attack. Martin Odegaard does well. Smith Rowe, he's got Saka outside him, a little bit of space. Oh, that was a terrible ball from Smith Rowe. Really poor ball there. One opportunity that Saka had, a little bit of space in front of him. He needed a better ball, but we've won it back now with Tomiyasu. Now Saka has got the ball. He had it taken off him there by Fabinho. Unfairly, says the referee. Surely that's got to be a yellow card, says Saka. Don't like to see players do that, but he's got a point. That was a poor ball from Smith Rowe just before, though. It needs to be better. Usually is better from Smith Rowe. Saka had a lot of space. That was a really, really poor pass. And are Arsenal going to regret that moment? But we're coming forward again. Lacazette finds Smith Rowe this time. Can he make up for that? Smith Rowe tries a shot from the edge of the box. It's charged down. And Liverpool pick up possession again. We took that free kick quickly. Maybe we didn't make the most of it, actually. Joe says there, if we bring on Eddie, that will be game over. Boy, do we need a top striker. Well, Eddie's got a good record in this competition, hasn't he? Maybe he's going to come off the bench and be the saviour and get the goals that win us. But now Liverpool have got another opportunity. Alexander-Arnold's got a little bit of space on this near side. Alexander-Arnold plays the ball across the 6-yard box. Again, it falls to Liverpool player. Shot comes in. Oh, it's blocked by Martinelli on the 6-yard line. Arsenal certainly living dangerously at times, but we're getting away with it at the moment. It is still only 1-0. Referee says player, it was a foul on Martin Odegaard, but Arsenal got possession. That was a dangerous attack there. Alexander-Arnold with a cross. Again, we didn't make a good clearance initially, but when the shot came in, it was Martinelli on the edge of the 6-yard box, blocked it. And it is still 1-0. The more chances Liverpool miss, the more I'm starting to feel that it might end up being our night. But anyway, let's see what happens. Sambi Lokonga now plays the ball back to Gabriel. Then it's to Ben White and now back to Ramsdale. We're doing this a lot, but we're not making any progress up the other end of the pitch. And I say the best chances of this second half have definitely fallen to Liverpool. Thankfully, they haven't taken any of them. And we are still in this game for the time being, at least. Gabriel now plays it to Kieran Tierney. Gabriel again. Slowing it down. Hasn't got a lot of movement in front. I think he was looking for that long ball, but there was nobody to hit. There is nobody to hit. Now he goes long this time into the centre circle towards, was that Smith Rowe? No, it was Odegaard. The ball bounced away from Odegaard. Now it's all the way back to Keller in goal for Liverpool. Now Konate plays it up the line. He's had an interesting second half, hasn't he? The substitute for Liverpool. He's hit the post. He's got a yellow card. But Minamino now in possession inside his own half for Liverpool. Finds Alexander-Arnold, plays it on to Jordan Henderson. Eddie Nketiah is about to come on for Arsenal. So let's see if Joel's going to be right or whether Eddie Nketiah is going to be the saviour. We need a goal. We're bringing on a striker. You can't really argue with that. Martinelli now. Hopefully it won't be him that goes off. Will he keep Lacazette on? Will he take Martin Odegaard or Smith Rowe? Neither of those two have been 100% fit lately. You'd imagine one of them is probably going to go off perhaps for Eddie Nketiah. And we maybe go with two up front. Martin Odegaard's done well there though. Finds Lacazette over on that far side. We need a goal and you've got your centre forward playing over on that right wing. Plays it into Martin Odegaard. Lacazette now makes a run in towards the penalty area. Martin Odegaard again in possession. This is better from Arsenal. Played it to this near side to Gabriel Martinelli. Can he get past Alexander-Arnold? He can. Can he get a cross in? Cuts back inside. He's still got the ball, Martinelli. He does think a cross into the far post, but it's ahead of there from Van Dijk. We do lack a presence in the box, don't we? When the ball comes in, not that Eddie's going to give us that physical presence, but that's the one thing that we lack. A great ball again from Martinelli. He did really well. Twisted and turned, got his cross in, but it was an easy header in the end for Van Dijk. And Arsenal didn't even have a to be said. Sambi Lokonga now plays it to this near side to Gabriel Martinelli. Again, he's running at Alexander-Arnold. But Alexander comes out on top and finds Minamino and locks the ball forward. But Ben White's underneath that one. Plays it back to Gabriel. Arsenal certainly enjoying a lot more possession now in the last 5 minutes or so. But we're not able to create an opportunity for this goal. Martin Odegaard, we're being nice and patient though, but we need to try and stretch Liverpool a little bit more. Martin Odegaard again plays the ball to this near side. It's a good pass to Martinelli. This is where we're going to get a goal if it's going to happen. Martinelli goes past Minamino. He gets past Alexander-Arnold. Oh, that's a shot towards the near post. Pushed over the crossbar there from Keller. I don't know if that was meant to be a cross or it was a shot fired in. I think it was meant to be a cross actually, but it was on target. Keller had to push it over the crossbar. Maybe we need a little bit of luck like that. We've got a corner now on this near side, which Martinelli's going to take. If we're going to get a goal, you imagine he's going to be at the heart of it somewhere. The way he's played tonight, he's been our best player in this game up till now. 72 minutes played. Liverpool are still 1-0 up. But can we get this equaliser? Martinelli with the corner from this near side, swung in towards the near post. That's a poor call. Liverpool can clear that away quite easily. We were saying before how much our set pieces have improved, and since then we haven't put a good one in actually. That's a long ball over the top. Again, it finds Martinelli on this near side. Martinelli running at the Liverpool defence, cuts inside. Can he get a cross in? Twisting and turning. He's inside the penalty area. Martinelli tries to go around the outside of Jordan Henderson, who got a foot in. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal on this near side. Martinelli is having such a great game. It has to be said. Tom says there, thank God for Martinelli tonight. Well, yeah, indeed. In fact, we're making 2 substitutions. It is Thomas Partey is coming on. It's actually Lacazette going off for Eddie Nketiah. So we're not going to go with 2 up front. It's going to be Eddie Nketiah coming on and Thomas Partey as well. Not sure who's coming off yet. It's going to be Smith Rowe coming off for Thomas Partey. So I'm guessing Odegaard's going to push a little bit further forward. Smith Rowe, you know, there's been a fitness doubts about him. He looks knackered, to be fair. And Thomas Partey now comes on. Interesting to see how fit he is following his performance for Ghana just 48 hours ago. And there's other players who moan about playing 1 game a week. He's played 2 games in 48 hours in 2 different continents. So well played, Thomas Partey. Anyway, Kieran Tierney's taking his throw in the attacking third for Arsenal. Can we get an opportunity now that we're coming down towards the last 15 minutes? Again, it's a Liverpool head, wins that ball into the box. We've got no presence in there, have we? Gabriel, again, Liverpool forcing us back to Ben White. Thinks the ball over the top again, looking for Kieran Tierney down his near side. But again, Liverpool clear it away. It's going to be a throw, and Liverpool preparing a sub as well. James Milner will be coming on for Liverpool. It looks like Jordan Henderson's going off for them. And James Milner's coming on. And it is Jordan Henderson. So both captains have gone off in a quick succession there. Liverpool's captain, Jordan Henderson, is being replaced by James Milner. He gives the substitute the armband. And it's going to be Milner to come on. Jordan Henderson doesn't look too happy to go off, actually. But anyway, Liverpool have made that substitution now. And say Arsenal have made their 2 as well. Can they make a difference? Thomas Partey now on the ball for the first time for Arsenal. We had a great game, didn't he, against Manchester City, the last game he played for us. That's a good ball up the line. Oh, the linesman's flag's up. Bukayo, it was Eddie Nketiah, actually, sorry. The linesman's flag's up. It was a great ball through there. It looked as though Eddie Nketiah was going to be in down that far side, but the linesman's flag was up quickly. And that brings an end to that particular attack. But maybe Eddie's going to offer a little threat in behind that maybe Lacazette doesn't. So maybe that's a good substitution. We'll have to see. There's now 15 minutes left to play in this semi-final. Can Arsenal find a goal that may well take this game into extra time, and perhaps we can still get to Wembley? Tomiyasu there wins that header. Good header defensively. Thomas Partey. Now Sambi Lokonga on the ball. Plays it through. That's a good ball to Martinelli. Tried to flick it on to Eddie Nketiah, but it came off the Liverpool player behind him, Canate, and now Liverpool coming forward themselves with Minamino. Good feet there. Finds Curtis Jones, plays it back to Minamino. Tried to play it through. Good defending from Gabriel. That's not a good clearance, though. And James Milner with his first contribution across to the far post. Tomiyasu heads it away, not very far. Liverpool still in possession. A shot across the face of the goal from Andrew Robertson. And that, again, is another chance missed for Liverpool. Arsenal panicking a little bit in defence. It wasn't a good clearance from Gabriel. The ball came back in again. Looked as though actually there may have been an offside at the far post from Jota. But Robertson shot across the goal, went wide. And Tom in the chat says there, first thing Eddie does is get caught offside. Brilliant. He did get caught offside, but at least he tried and that's what we wasn't. Lacazette doesn't really do that, does he? So he's maybe going to offer a different threat to Liverpool. Let's give him a chance. He's only been on for a minute or so. He hasn't even touched the ball yet. So, but if he's going to run in behind and cause them problems, that could actually be a good thing. Martinelli again does brilliantly. What a talent this boy is. He didn't slip over as I say that. Typically, that's the ball over top. Surely that's offside. Surely that is offside. Jota's going to score. He has scored, but surely that's offside. Is it? It's got to be. And the flag is up. It had to be offside. He looked as though he was miles offside. Well done to the linesman. Liverpool are protesting. He did look as though he was offside. We'll have to look here. Martinelli slips over. Oh, it's a tight one, actually. I think Gabriel might have been playing him on. Wow. If we do get through, and the chances Liverpool have missed and that goal there disallowed, that is it going to be our night? Hang on, VAR are checking it. I didn't think we had VAR in the Cup. I didn't think the League Cup had VAR. What's going on? They didn't have it last week. Or they would have checked that red card, wouldn't they? Oh, this is tight. Onside. It's onside. I think the goal's going to be given. VAR wasn't meant to be used in the Carabao Cup. And now they're checking a handball against Jota as well. I'm not really sure what's going on at the minute. VAR are doing something. It looks like it was onside. Was it handball? The referee needs to look at it, doesn't he? He's given the goal. That's it. It's all over. He's given the goal. VAR is not even meant to be in this competition as far as I was aware. Have given the goal. It's Jota again with his second. Once again, he comes back to haunt us. Surely that's it now for Arsenal. We are not going to Wembley. And Liverpool look as though they're there now. He took it well, Jota, in the end. He looked as though he was miles offside, but actually when you look at the replay on VAR, you have to say it probably was the right decision to be onside. Gabriel was too slow stepping up. He took it well, Jota, lifted it over Ramsdale. And it's gone in, and VAR once again have given Liverpool the benefit of the doubt. It probably was the right decision. Tom says they're brilliant. Yeah, indeed. And it is now 2-0, and surely Arsenal are going out. It's going to take something extraordinary, isn't it, in these last, 12 minutes or so for Arsenal to come back into this. It seems highly unlikely. I don't think we've had a shot on target in the second half. 77 minutes was that goal. And it looks as though it's going to be Liverpool. Bargab says they're VAR only at semi-final stage. Well, I didn't even think they had it last week. There wasn't one VAR decision in that first leg last week, not one. There's a red card, didn't check it. There are other things that they could have checked, not one check, and suddenly tonight they're checking a goal. It's like, hang on a minute, Arsenal have a chance. Martinelli! Fires a shot just over the bar. That could have made a massive difference there if Martinelli could score there. Good play actually from Arsenal down that far side. Thomas Partey was involved. Nice little flick to Saka. Played it across to Martinelli. Took a touch to flick it up and then hit it over the crossbar there. Wouldn't quite come down quick enough for him. Just over the top. Would have been a great goal actually. Would have been a crucial goal as well. But it's not to be. Oh, that's the real dagger, that second goal there. So I'm not really sure what the rules were with VAR. I didn't think it was being used at all. But anyway, it's come to Liverpool's rescue there. And they're looking for a third goal with Minamino inside the penalty area now. He's got Gabriel to face him. Cuts back inside Minamino. Scoops the ball over to the far side to Curtis Jones. Good tackle that was on him there from Thomas Partey. And now it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal and a yellow card for Curtis Jones as well. Rajandra says there, it's the ref syndicate. Well, it might well be. It might well be the ref syndicate. But that's not going to help us now, is it? We need 2 goals in these last 8.5 minutes. There will be a bit of stoppage time now, of course, with the VAR, with the substitutions. Thomas Partey does well there in midfield, finds Bukayo Saka over on that far side. Can Arsenal find a goal now, which will certainly make it an interesting last few minutes, won't it, if we can? Bukayo Saka over on that far side. We said before, when was the last time we came from behind from 1-0 down to win a game? When was the last time we came from 2-0 down to win a game? That we'll be going back a long time for that, won't we? Kieran Tierney plays it back in to Sambi Lokonga. That's a poor ball from Sambi Lokonga. It's gone out for a goal kick to Liverpool, and you have to say it's not looking as though it's going to be Arsenal's night, unfortunately. I think Wembley is going to be beyond us, and we're just going to have 18 games left in the Premier League to try and salvage a place in Europe, place in the top 4 possibly. But we'll see. Martinelli again almost wins the ball back there. It runs through to Keller. You have to say Martinelli definitely doesn't deserve to be on a losing side tonight. He's given absolutely everything to try to create some opportunities for Arsenal. Just hasn't quite come off for him in the end. But he's been magnificent for Arsenal. What a great player he is. Liverpool coming forward again, looking for a good tackle that was from Ben White. James Milner plays it out to the far side to Minamino. Tries a shot just wide of that near post. In fact, it was Curtis Jones, sorry, with that shot there. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. We are now into the last 7 minutes of normal time. Liverpool making another change now. I think it's going to be Nico Williams coming on for Firmino. So a defender coming on for a striker. I suppose you can't really argue with that when you're 2-0 up with, 7 minutes to go in a semi-final. Roberto Firmino's coming on. It is Nico Williams coming on for Liverpool. Vijandra says there, they can block our player without any punishment to stop our attacks. But one block, a yellow for us. Yeah, but that's what it's always like for Arsenal, isn't it? We know that. We can't, we can't sort of keep complaining about it because it's not ever going to change. It's been the same for as long as I can remember watching football for. It's always been the case. And there's nothing we can do. Anyway, it is a goal kick to Arsenal. If we're going to salvage something from this semi-final, we're going to have to do it pretty sharpish because we are now running out of time. It is 2-0. It's been a frustrating night for Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. We haven't done enough in the attacking third. Someone's run on the pitch. I think it's a Liverpool fan, and we are going to have to deal with that now, which is not what you need really at this stage in the night. Somebody running on the pitch. They're not showing it on the telly, and there's going to be a little bit of a hold up while they get the fan off the pitch. But it's those 2 goals from the little Portuguese. That second one coming out with Martin, and he slipped over actually, lost his footing. Alexander-Arnold pinged the ball over the top. A good touch and a good finish from Jota. He did look offside, but anyway, obviously he wasn't. And it is given, and it is 2-0. And that looks as though it's that. You have to say it does look as though that's that. But we've seen a dramatic finish in the game last night, didn't we, in the Premier League at Leicester? 2 very late goals, won the game, of course, for Tottenham. Can we find 2 late goals tonight to take this semi-final to extra time, or are we going to fall at the final hurdle? Gabriel now plays it back to Aaron Ramsdale for Arsenal. Can we find a goal? We're not going to find a goal with the ball in our own penalty area. Ben White now plays it across to Gabriel. We're keeping possession. We've done this quite a lot in the second half, but we've not got in behind Liverpool. That one opportunity for Lacazette early in the second half, that was perhaps the one, would have made it 1-1. That could have changed the whole complexion of this game, but he missed. Thomas Partey then lost the ball in a dangerous area, but luckily Liverpool give it away. In fact, they don't, because Thomas Partey's conceded a free kick and gets a yellow card. It's been quite an interesting introduction to him for Thomas Partey. There he gave the ball away initially, and then Nico Williams came through. He left his foot in, and he gets a yellow card and a free kick to Liverpool. more time ticking away. We've played 86.5 minutes nearly at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. Second leg of this Carabao Cup final. Not been a good night for Arsenal up until now, but who knows what's going to happen in these last few minutes. I say we did see last night there are dramatic finishes can happen. Of course, we've had a dramatic finish against Liverpool in history, haven't we? As everybody knows. But this is going to be even more dramatic than that if the game stays like this, because we had 90 minutes to score 2 goals that night. We've got 3 minutes plus stoppage time to score 2 goals tonight. And if we do that, that would be a remarkable performance. But you can't see it. I can't remember our last shot on target tonight. I just cannot remember it. It's such a long time ago. But anyway, you never know. It's a long ball there from Ramsdale, flicked on by Tomiyasu. Gabriel Martinez just everywhere now, just trying to get the ball and make something happen. Eddie Nketiah over on that far side. Does well, Eddie Nketiah. Has he won a corner? No, he hasn't. It's just run through to Keller in the Liverpool goal. And a few more seconds are wasted. We've played nearly 88 minutes of this game. It is Liverpool are 2-0 ahead. They are very, very close to Wembley and a place in the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool. But anyway, there's another free kick given away, this time by Gabriel on Minamino. Liverpool are going to waste a few more seconds now, I'm sure. We're into the final 2 minutes of the 90. There'll probably be 4 or 5 minutes stoppage time. Don't think it's going to be enough, though, is it, in the circumstances? And it's going to be a 3rd game in a row without an Arsenal goal. It's going to be a 5th game in a row without an Arsenal goal if you include the women as well. We haven't scored since New Year's Day, either the men or the women. It's been a terrible January. It really has been. Sambi Lokongolo trying to change all that, but he's given the ball away. And now Liverpool can get a breakaway down the far side with Curtis Jones. Liverpool looking for a 3rd goal, which really will finish it off. But that shot there was comfortable save for Aaron Ramsdale at the near post. I think it was James Milner actually breaking forward there with that shot. Wasn't a very good finish. A comfortable save for Aaron Ramsdale. For some reason, he's taking too long over this kick. Just get the ball up the pitch, mate. That's a long kick there towards Bukayo Saka, towards Eddie Nketiah, sorry. But again, Liverpool win it. Virgil van Dijk. And then there's another terrible foul there. Thomas Partey is going to get himself a yellow card, a 2nd yellow card. Thomas Partey's off. He's only been on the pitch about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And he's been sent off. He came back early from the African Cup of Nations, and now his night has just finished early as well. Vijandra says that was one for the syndicate to make lots of money. That ref is making a killing. I mean, to be fair, it was 2 silly fouls. It's 2 silly fouls. He's late. Is that because he's jet lagged from flying? He was late on that one. The first challenge was silly. I think that's his own fault. Thomas Partey. You have to say, though, both legs of the semi-final down to 10 men. This is slightly different in the final minute of the 90. But anyway, I think you can safely say that's it now. Stupid from Thomas Partey. Maybe was it frustration? Is it just he's not quite in tune with the game, having just flown back from Africa? Tom says there, you just can't write it, can you? Well, no, it's just, what can you say, really? That's 3 red cards for Arsenal now in the last 4 games. 3 red cards. Just incredible. There's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time anyway. Not that it's going to make any difference now. You kind of hoped at 2-0 with 11 men, we may have got a goal back, and who knows. But now with 10 men, as well as we played last week at Anfield with 10 men, we now need to score 2 goals. There's going to be another yellow card for Liverpool. I don't know who that is, but it's only the first yellow there. It's Minamino. He's only recently come on as well. Ball there played over to the far side, overhit. Saka can't keep it in. And we are now a minute into the 5 of stoppage time. There's a lot of empty seats now where the Arsenal fans were. The Liverpool fans at the clock end are already celebrating going back to Wembley. It's going to be another season of frustration for Arsenal. We have still got the top 4 to play for, of course, in the remainder of the season in the Premier League. But quite honestly, we need more. We need more in an attacking sense when we're playing the better teams. This has been the case all the way through this season. That's a ball dinked over to this near side. Well played by Eddie Nketiah. Finds Kieran Tierney. Sambi Lokonga is now left on his own in midfield after Thomas Partey's red card. Kieran Tierney fires Eddie Nketiah on his near side. Eddie Nketiah plays it back to Lokonga, and he just plays it out looking for Kieran Tierney. He's gone out. He's had a decent game, Lokonga, but that was a tired-looking pass. This is now a tired-looking Arsenal team. Mikel Arteta is looking frustrated, stony-faced on the touchline. It's not been a good night for Arsenal. A great start to this game, hitting a bar with an early free kick from Lacazette. That would have made a massive difference if that had gone in. It didn't. And after that, we just haven't really created enough. And Liverpool have been the better team, you have to say, tonight. We deserved that draw last week at Anfield, but we haven't deserved to win this game tonight. I don't think we can have too many complaints with the result. Unfortunately, Liverpool they've had the better chances. They could have scored 2 or 3 more in the second half, if we're honest. We rode our luck a little bit. It looks as though maybe them chances may have come back to haunt Liverpool, but they haven't. They've got that second goal. And Virginia says the Liverpool players are not being yellow carded. Well, they've had a couple, but yeah, I agree. Tom says you can only hope it's jet lag, but the time zone to GMT in Africa is only an hour ahead, so it can't be that. Yeah, I suppose not. But I still think travelling on a plane to come back, it's a long trip. It's going to take something out of them, isn't it? Now Liverpool looking to get a third goal. Good tackle that was there from Kieran Tierney. But again, Liverpool getting in possession again. We're now a minute and a half away from the end of stoppage time, the end of Arsenal's Carabao Cup run. It's been a good run. We've scored a lot of goals. Liverpool giving the ball away to Martinelli on halfway, but it's going to be too late. Even if we do manage to score a goal now, it's going to come far too late. Sambi Lokonga in midfield again. We're forced back. Ben White fires Ødegaard over on that far side. Ball in towards Eddie Nketiah. He can't get it under control, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Eyes wide open there, says respect Arsenal LFC. It's just not been our night, has it? Unfortunately, Liverpool have been a better team, certainly after the first 10 minutes or so when Arsenal started well. And they've had a player who has managed to find the back of the net twice, Diogo Jota, as he often does against Liverpool. I'm sure he'll be looking for a hat-trick still in the final minute that remains, but it's been disappointing from Arsenal tonight, it has to be said. And Liverpool now just comfortably keeping possession, going to see this game out for these final few seconds that remain of stoppage time. Kieran Tierney still flying into tackles there, wins the ball, but it's going to be a throw to Liverpool. We needed to show a little bit more of that sort of fight, didn't we, earlier on this evening? And maybe, just maybe, it may have worked out differently for us. But as it's turned out, it hasn't been the case. We haven't done enough tonight. It's been frustrating. We're not creating enough chances. And if this isn't a wake-up call for the board to, get some new players in for Edu, Arteta to get these deals done. There goes the final whistle. It has finished at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. It is Liverpool that go through to the final against Chelsea 2-0 on aggregate. We thought last week's battling draw at Anfield was going to set us up nicely to be able to go through, but tonight wasn't to be our night. We started really well, actually. The first 10 minutes, we put Liverpool under pressure. We were closing them down early, winning the ball high up the pitch. We had that great opportunity with that free kick very, very early on from Lacazette. Fantastic free kick it was, curled over the wall. Was probably just going to go in the top corner, but goalkeeper Keller got across, got a touch on it, pushed it onto the crossbar. And that was pretty much the only real decent opportunity that we had all night. Liverpool grew into the game after that. They started to create some chances. They got the goal 20 minutes in. It was Diogo Jota. He got past Tomiyasu a little bit too easily on the left-hand side for Liverpool, cut in, and his shot wasn't really that well struck. It took a deflection, caught out Aaron Ramsdale, rolled in to the net, and gave Liverpool 1-0 lead at half-time. He was hoping for a response from Arsenal in the second half. We didn't really get it, if I'm totally honest. There was one big chance for Lacazette early in the second half. A ball from Sambi Lokonga played through to him. He got a good first touch, but rushed his finish, hit it over the top. And after that, it was just a succession of Liverpool misses. They missed 3 or 4 good opportunities to get their second goal. Gordon with a real big miss. But in the end, Liverpool did get the second goal. A little bit of controversy about it. 12 minutes from time, a long ball over the top from Alexander-Arnold after a slip from Martinelli, and the ball fell to Jota, took a good touch. He looks as if he was offside. The linesman gave it offside initially. A nice finish it was. But VAR, who I didn't even think were in this competition, got involved. He was onside. The replays clearly showed that Gabriel was slow coming out, and it was 2-0, and that was that. Very late on, Thomas Partey got 2 yellow cards, one after the other, having come on off the bench. Very, very disappointed for him. Frustration for the first one. He gave the ball away, tried to win it back, a late challenge on Nico Williams. And then the second one, he was late on Fabinho. You can't have too many complaints about that. 2 yellow cards, no issue with that. And that was that, really. Liverpool saw the game out quite comfortably. They were the better team, certainly tonight. I thought we played well last week. Regenda says that Liverpool have been trained properly to foul us and block us. Well, I think they've been coached properly as a team. You can see they played well tonight, Liverpool. You can't argue with it. They were the better team. They had the better chances. They deserved to win. The Truth Sets Free says Jota masterclass. Well, I don't know about a masterclass. He took his second goal well. The first goal was a bit fortunate. He always causes us problems, and he did play well. Tom says, it's not the first time we've played like that this year. I don't understand it. Sometimes we are so mediocre with no ideas. If it wasn't for Martinelli tonight, it would have been a bang average display. Well, I mean, it was, apart from the first 10 minutes, it was a pretty bang average display as a team, wasn't it? Martinelli was brilliant, and he rose above that level, but the rest of them didn't. And I agree. And I've said it before, we've always got these very, very average performances in us. And is it because we're still a young team? Is it because there's something missing? But it happens quite a lot, doesn't it, unfortunately? And, everybody got excited when we were scoring 5 against Norwich, 4 against Leeds, and beating Watford and Newcastle. But every single time this season, we've come up against a good team, whether it's Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City. We've come up short. We played well against Man City, but we couldn't see it out. We played well at Anfield last week, couldn't get the result. We were average tonight and got knocked out. And we're just not quite good enough, are we? And can we sneak into the top 4? Who knows? We've got an opportunity, but again, I don't think we're good enough. I really don't. I don't think we're going to be good enough, and I think we're going to end up missing out. The Truth Sets Free says, made Ben White look like a statue along with everybody else. Yeah, Ben White didn't have his greatest game tonight, did he? Regenda says that the refs allow it. I don't want to blame the refs. The ref wasn't the problem tonight. We wasn't good enough, and that's what it is. Toothless says Truth Sets Free. Exactly that. Yeah, that's what we were. Should have been 6-1. What about 6-1? They could have scored 2 or 3 more. I don't know. Maybe 3-0 would have been a fairer reflection, perhaps. But anyway, it's 2-0. Arteta should have a tantrum like Watford manager about the way they were fouling us. Yeah, I mean, but that's not the reason, is it? We had one shot on target. I've just got the stats up there. 1 shot on target. Liverpool only had 3 actually, so maybe 6-1. I don't know where you would have got that from with 3 shots on target. We only had that 1. 5 corners to us, 2 to Liverpool. Liverpool had 11 shots in total. We committed 14 fouls, got 4 yellow cards. Liverpool committed 9 fouls, got 3 yellow cards. We also got a red card as well, didn't we? So anyway, Regenda says there, Partey 2 fouls and he's off. Well, there were 2 yellow cards. I don't think we can complain about that, actually, unfortunately. Shane says, if we play for 3 more hours, we won't score. No, you're right. We wouldn't. Well, we haven't scored since New Year's Day. I don't think we're going to score for the rest of January. Saka, ESR, Whitewall, terrible. Laka is a £50 million player. Bigger waste of money than Mustafi. I think that's a little bit harsh on Lacazette. I agree. I thought Saka didn't really get in the game tonight. ESR was really poor. White was poor. I thought Tomiyasu was poor. I'll actually go through the players in a minute. Regenda says telling us not to foul any player at all. You're off. Well, yeah, it seems to be a bit like that. Truth Sets Free says maybe you get Vlahovic. Spurs and Arsenal are miles away from the top 3 teams. No, I totally agree. We are miles away, but that's 3 teams. There is a place in the top 4, and one of us may well get it. West Ham, Man United as well, but that's all we can focus on now for the rest of the season. We're out of the FA Cup. We're out of this cup. So that's all we've got to focus on. Let's just throw everything at it, and who knows, maybe we can get that top 4. Are we ready for Champions League football with this group of players? No, but we need the money, so we'll take it. Bargav says, as a big club, only one player played well. Yep. Rajendra says, is it because we can't get the ball forward and attack due to the foul, so we can't have any shots on target? Well, that's partly to blame, but ultimately we've got to be better, haven't we? So Tom says, better score against Burnley Sunday. If we can't score against them, we're in trouble. Well, yeah, although we only scored one, didn't we, when we played them away? True Sets 3 says ESR was 3 out of 10. And KMN TV, how you doing? I've been enjoying your combination things. I'm, nice that you've included me in some of them. I do appreciate the support. Bargab says our fans are now going to be shameless and say this competition didn't matter. I don't care what other fans say. To me, it does matter. It matters massively. It's a cup that we could have had an opportunity to win, and I'm really, really disappointed tonight with how we played. I'm disappointed that we've got knocked out because I really, really wanted us to win this competition. There's nothing better than winning a cup at Wembley. I don't care what cup it is. FA Cup, League Cup, doesn't matter. I want us to win trophies, and that's what I want to see. And unfortunately, we've blown a big opportunity that we had to win a trophy this season. So I'm massively frustrated. Rajendra says, we still can't do the same to them as they will send off our team. Yeah, well, yeah, that seems to be the case. But ultimately, we've got to be better. We've got to be better. That's the end of the bottom line is we had to be better tonight. We needed to create more chances, and we didn't. And we've gone out, and it's not good. It's not good at all. And it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence for the rest of the season, I have to be honest. Yes, there's been one or two issues. We had to call off the game at the weekend because of some issues. You can clearly see some players tonight wasn't on it. I'll just run through them quickly then. Ramsdale in goal. He didn't have a lot to do, actually, did he? There wasn't a lot of shots on target, only 3, and he let in 2 of them. Can't really give him more than a 6. He did okay with certain things, but he wasn't great. Tommy Asso, I thought, was poor, looked off the pace. Not a great game from him, maybe a 5. Ben White as well, given a torrid time tonight, didn't play very well at all. I'll give Ben White maybe a 4. Gabriel was probably the pick of the defenders. He did okay, didn't he, Gabriel? Maybe give him a 6. Kieran Tierney did all right actually as well. Kieran Tierney maybe deserves a 6. I thought he played okay. Thought the Congo midfield had a half decent game, to be fair. Probably a 6 for him as well. Erdegaard, some good moments. He doesn't stamp his authority enough on games for me, but maybe a 6 for him. Smith Rowe, I don't think he was fit. I've got to be honest. That was one of his poorest games he's had for a long time. Maybe you got to give him a 5. Unfortunately, in the front 3. Bukayo Saka never got in a game. He had some nice moments when he got the ball, but he probably only touched it 4 times. Can't give him more than a 5. Lacazette missed that big chance, didn't he, early in the second half, rushed it, showed no composure, was unlucky with a free kick, worked hard, but wasn't getting himself into a positions to, a couple of good balls came in, he wasn't in the right position to finish him off. So maybe a 5 for Lacazette. Of course, a standout player, 100% Gabriel Martinelli by an absolute mile. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. He didn't deserve to be on a losing team tonight. He was absolutely brilliant. I thought he absolutely ran that game for us. He was the one player that he looked at and thought he's going to make something happen. He made a few things happen, but nothing came of it in the end. And he was really unfortunate. So man of the match for me, Gabriel Martinelli by a mile. The substitutes who came on, Eddie Nketiah didn't get in the game at all. Maybe a 3 for him. Thomas Partey certainly made an impression, didn't he? Came on and got himself sent off. Can't really give him more than a 2 for that unfortunate incident. And they were the only 2 subs that we brought on, all other kids on the bench essentially. Disappointing. Liverpool played well, let's give them credit. Jota's second goal, he took it well. I know VAR gave it the right decision. I thought Curtis Jones played well for Liverpool as well. And yeah, they were just much better than us. Fabinho as well ran that midfield, didn't he? So there you go. Bargab says there was this Liverpool's B or C team. Well, I don't know. It's mainly their main team, wasn't it? They had 1 or 2 different players in, didn't they? Curtis Jones, he's a good player though. He doesn't often play, and obviously Gordon as well doesn't play very often. But other than that, goalkeeper. But that's a strong Liverpool 11. Yeah, their bench was a little bit weaker. That's not an excuse. I don't want to blame. Say that was a reason. Liverpool had a good team and they played well. Bargab says they're still sticking to it's going to take us 2 years for us to have control in a game like this. Why? Why does it need to take us 2 years? Why don't we just buy better players that can do it? It's no good buying. If every single player we buy is under 23, it is going to take us 2 years. It will take us 3 years or 4 years because other teams are going to buy experienced players. We need some experience in there now. We need to buy 2 or 3 experienced players that can help us. Liverpool have got players like Henderson. They've got Fabinho. proper players who are experienced. We've got, Lukonga and Odegaard. They're too young and inexperienced. We need players around them. All of them do. In the defence as well, we're too young. Defence is too young, and Martinelli's young and he's great, but we need more around him. And yeah, we're going to be miles off if we keep with this policy, because we need some more experience in the team. There's absolutely no question about that. Shane says Martinelli would score 25 goals a season with Liverpool, probably. Although would he get in ahead of Mo Salah? I guess that's the question, isn't it? Because they sort of play a similar position, don't they? But I don't know. He'd score a lot of goals for Liverpool, certainly, and I think he will score goals for us eventually. But this team is too young and too inexperienced. And when it matters in the big games against the big teams, we're coming up short time after time after time, aren't we? When it matters, we're not good enough. And will this team, if this team stays together over the next 2 or 3 years, will they become good enough in that time? Maybe they will. I still think they need experience around them to guide them and help them. We've got an inexperienced manager. We've got a load of inexperienced players, and you can see when it comes to games like this, this is what we get. Bargav says, yeah, I just can't see a big player coming in to a rigid manager like Arteta. There has to be some give and take. No, I agree. I think that is a problem as well. And maybe that's not what Arteta wants. Maybe he just wants this young team that he can develop himself, but it's not going to work, because in the next 2 or 3 years, while we're getting these young players to develop, Liverpool are improving their squad, Man City are improving their team, Chelsea are improving their team, Man United are improving their team. Tottenham have just got a new manager. They're going to improve their team. We'll look at West Ham, what they're doing. We're going to fall further and further behind if we don't do something. Leicester are having a poor season, but they're going to be back probably. They're going to improve their squad. It's no good buying all these young players. We need to improve quicker, because everybody else is, and you can clearly see it. And forget what we are in the league. We're currently 6th. We could be 4th with games in hand, whatever it is. Let's see where we finish. But for me, we've got a lot. We're miles short of where we want to be, and we're not going to get there with this current policy, because everybody else is buying better players than we are, more experienced players than we are. They're going to be moving forward quicker than we are, and that's the problem. It's just it's obvious and clear, isn't it, for everybody to see? But anyway, that's for another time. At the end of the day, we've lost. Shane says, thanks, Rich. At the start of the stream, I said it's expectations that kill you. You did, and you're right. I was wrong. It's the hope. We're miles away. This really hurts. Yeah, we are miles away. We are. We know that now. And yeah, it's frustrating. But we'll have to brush ourselves down. We've got another game on Sunday in the Premier League. We can't afford not to win that game now. We haven't scored a goal for a long time, and we need to score a goal. We need to win the game, because if we drop more points in the league, then that top 4, even top 6 could be, teams are closing in on us, behind us as well, aren't they? Man United, Wolves as well. Don't write them off either. So, yeah, not good enough at all. We're not where we need to be, and I think it's going to be a very frustrating end to the season now. We've got nothing to play for in the cups, and we just got to hope that we can get ourselves back in that top 6, get into Europe. That's what the aim's got to be. Are we good enough to do it? I'm not convinced. I'm not. I've got to be honest. Bargav says, good watch along. Have a nice weekend. And you, mate, hope to see you soon. Don't forget, on the channel coming up, we've got the women's show, Arsenal women's show tomorrow. Got the usual panel on. We're going to be looking back on the disappointing defeat last night, looking ahead to the game at the weekend, the big game, Man City away for the women. We'll be looking at that, looking at the new transfers that we've brought in as well. Some exciting times maybe for the women coming up, hopefully. And then on Sunday, there's 2 watch-alongs. At 1:45, we'll be going live Arsenal v Burnley in the Premier League. And then at 6:30 in the evening, the Arsenal women playing away at Man City. As I said, that's going to be a good game, a big game. So please join me for all of that. And if you haven't done so, please like, share and subscribe. And Tom says there, perhaps Party felt left out with his mate Xhaka banned as well. Yeah, at least they can keep each other company, can't they, for the next couple of games? Although, no, Thomas Partey gets a 1-game ban, doesn't he? Xhaka's still got 2 more, so Xhaka's still going to be on his own. But at least on Sunday they can sit together and enjoy the ban between them. I'm going to take that score off the screen now because it's doing me head in. It has finished here tonight at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. Liverpool go into the final to play against Chelsea at the end of February. We've just got to try and get back into Europe in the league now. So we've got to play for 18 games left. Let's try and win as many as we can and see where we end up. Let's hope for a better end to the season maybe than we've had so far. But anyway, that's all for me for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I say please give it a like, share and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow at 7:30 for the Arsenal Women's Show. Some slightly more positive vibes there, although the performances recently haven't been great either, have they? But I'm sure we'll try and find the positive spin on that. Put this behind us and move forward. Disappointing. Arsenal are out of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool go through to the final. Very, very poor. Just before we go, got a couple of comments there. Shane says, Edu Arteta players all. Yeah, Edu as well. Yeah, novice. It will depend on how poor other teams are for us to finish in the top four. 100%. I think we now don't have the bottle. No Europe. Arteta goes for me. Totally agree. If we don't get in Europe, he's got to go. Tom says, yeah, I'll catch up with you on here tomorrow. Yeah, cheers, Tom. Speak to you soon, mate. Thanks for tuning in again. Yeah, I agree, Shane. I think if we're not in Europe, then he's got to go 100%. But we'll see what happens. Let's hope we are in Europe regardless, because that's where we need to be, quite honestly. We can't afford another season out of Europe, can we? Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Join me tomorrow for the women's show at 7:30, and then the 2 watch-alongs on Sunday. Let's hope for some better performance. Let's hope for some goals, actually. That's loads of games since New Year's Day without an Arsenal goal. Very frustrating. I've got my goal graphic. I'm going to use it. It's going to get mothballs on it, isn't it? But hopefully we'll bring it out on Sunday in the 2 games. Just hope so. I'll see you tomorrow for the women's show. In the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners. Come on. Just be better, please. See you tomorrow, guys.